We'll go around the table this way, by the way.
Around this way?
Yeah, around this way.
So I'm after fake blue?
Yeah.
You're fake blue. You're definitely fake blue.
Welcome to FurCast, episode 163. I'm your host for this evening, Paradox the Wolf.
I'm your fabulous Blue Fox host, Pharaoh.
I'm your Arctic Fox freeze frame host. I screwed that up.
Bastard. Yes. Oh, there we go. It's ruined. Can't go back now.
Ruined. Whole show.
Ruined.
We got to
Yep.
start the whole thing. FurCast is canceled. We're never doing it again.
All right. I'm happy I can be on the last episode.
Show's over, guys.
Arctic blue? Like, when did you just get so cold it froze?
Yep.
It's like a dead body.
I had an accident with a can of spray paint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing with can of blue spray paint? I'm not even going to ask questions.
You don't want to know.
I don't even want to know.
You don't want to know.
What would you do with a can of blue spray paint?
Spread his blueness.
I think he would. I don't know if I'd like that very much.
No.
Never give Pharaoh a can of blue spray paint.
Someone already did, remember?
Oh, damn it.
Someone sent us a
You're
can
helping
of blue.
Pharaoh ruin the world.
And I am your uncomfortable host, B.
Very nice. So, welcome to FurCast, ladies and gentlemen, furries and faggots or something like that. I don't know. So, first thing to shout out is Freeze Frame is visiting. So, hi, Freeze Frame. How are you?
Hey, I'm back.
You are back. And so, you are our video producer, editor person.
Yeah, I'm the all-around video bitch of FurCast.
Pretty much. It's exactly what you are. Yeah. Puts the mic right up. But
I'm the video bitch.
yeah, for those of you who didn't watch the video feed, you don't know what just happened. But anyway, so you are visiting from Arlington, Virginia.
Yes.
And you were also on staff at FWA, weren't you?
Yes, I was. I was the Steadicam op. So pretty much that guy with the cyborg RoboCop camera rig, that was me.
Yeah, you did a fantastic job. It
Thank
was
you.
very awesome to see your stuff. So yeah, it's nice to have you on the air again, of course. And of course, we've got B and everybody else here. And so there are we have some guests in the room right now.
Yes.
And it's kind of hard to show them on the video feed.
Oh,
but
there's
I'll
his crotch.
I'll do my best. But so we have some guests, and this is Nikki and John from Buff State University. So you guys know we've been in a furry documentary before. It was for Logo, and it was done by Zigzag Productions. Well, these guys are also doing a documentary for Buff State University for their finals project. What was that?
On me and furry.
It's going to be on, you and other people.
Yes.
Are they following you everywhere?
Yes.
So you're going to spread your blueness in a documentary now?
Yep, that's what's happening.
So we're not exactly sure where the result of the documentary will be, but most likely it'll be on an online watchable format publicly, so we will have a link for you guys when that's all done.
I forgot what we're doing. It's like I'm one of the main characters, and then I'm one of the main characters.
One of the main characters.
God help us all.
So there we go. But yeah, so shout out to those guys for working real hard and trying to make a pretty awesome documentary. Pharaoh already seems pretty happy with the footage and the way it came out. So.
Oh yeah, there's some amazing footage of like they went to Fernal Equinox already. They've followed us around in fursuit. They've done other things, and they're trying to completely do a different take on the furry fandom. If you've ever seen Fanboy Confessional, something like that, that's what they're trying to do. Something
awesome.
Like that.
Well, speaking of conventions, we just came back from MCFC, and that was
a mess.
A mess. That was just nuts. I don't think. What were you guys drinking there?
Everclear.
Oh God.
Was that 190 proof?
Like,
yeah.
There was a moment where I walked into the room. And I think, like, I wanted to get my phone charger, and there was 15 minutes between me and getting that phone charger because there were so many people in the room.
It's because DJ Paul.
It was DJ Paul, yeah, which we're going to talk about later. So if you guys stay tuned after our first break, an hour into the show, we're going to talk about DJ Paul. We're going to talk about that.
DJ Paul Legman.
Paul Legman.
Paul Legman.
Yeah, for anybody who watched Twitter and or Facebook or other things, you already know what we're talking about. But yeah, for those of you who live under a rock, you'll get to learn all about Paul and all of the fun things there. So yeah, MCFC was pretty awesome. Got to meet so many fans and so many people. I mean, we got to meet. Let's see, Tribal Wolf was there, and then I got a donation from Tribal Wolf, and then we had. Let's see, I'm trying to think of all the other names. I should have compiled them into a list, and I didn't compile them into a list, so I really need to do that. But we had Munchies was there. He was pretty awesome. Got to hang out with him quite a lot. We actually went out to dinner and did all kinds of stuff. And yeah, it was just really cool to meet just a bunch of fans.
The blue dragon that always follows us on Twitter. It's
Stealthy.
Yeah,
that's Stealthy.
He was there. I met him for a little bit.
Yeah,
he didn't get to hang out with us much though.
He didn't get to, and it's funny because he's been to like 3 different conventions that we have, and poor Stealthy man, he just doesn't get the chance. But for some reason, we always are just doing other things. We're running around in other places. So we need to schedule something sometime. So just...
FurCast meet and greet.
So I want to thank everybody for not only for watching yesterday's show, where it was me and Freeze Frame and Wrath, who's still
sitting
here.
behind
He's
us
just in the
over
background. But I also want to thank everybody who donated. Yesterday was my birthday. I turned 21. Which means I'm like 140 something wolf years old. But anyway, I just want to thank, first of all, I want to thank Freeze Frame for helping out so much with production and everything else. I want to thank Wrath as well for just putting up with all of my BS when I come to him at 3 a.m. and say, hey, you know all that work we put into the audio routing? Let's completely redo it. But also shout out to Silver Godomon for also sending me this really interesting little magnet, which is... It's a little wolf cutout made out of a Pepsi can, and so that sits on my computer. And also for donating and being an awesome fan. Shout out to Saucy Fox for all of his help with the YouTube channel that he started of all of our episodes. Devin D. Parlay for the monthly donations, plus the extra donation they did for my birthday. I've got 3 human names, and I'm not going to say their last names, but I'll say their human names. If you guys know who you are, you're welcome to let me know so I can, give you a proper shout out. But shout out to Nathan S., Dylan B., and Colm R., which it's actually O''R for the last name. All of you guys for donating, because it is just, you guys killed like more than a month of our payments, which is like several $100s.
Colm is Twilord, by the way.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so shout out to Twilord. We all know his real name now. We know where you live, Twilord. I know where you live. But yeah, so thank you to all of those guys for just being awesome fans, awesome contributors, and everything else. And shout out to the rest of my crew who helps out. Zumoro for web dev, Parker, Xylos, Leon for the chat network, everything else. You guys are just fucking awesome. So, yeah, there you go. Only other thing to mention, I guess, before we move on to news is, 2 things, really. The first is that we have new lighting in the studio,
yes,
which is kind of interesting. And I can try to just, pan the PTZ camera up for those of you who are watching the video feed, but it is ridiculous, the lighting. We've got just... so many lights pointed in our face now, but it's really helping out to make the video feed look a little bit better. So thanks to $50,
I feel
Home
less,
Depot,
I feel less white.
You feel less white?
I feel more colorful.
Yeah, it did. It
brighten myself up. Without,
it does.
It's actually tanning me right now as I sit here.
Some nice 5,000K CFL tan, But so shout out to Freeze Frame for helping me with that, and also shout out to Freeze Frame's friend for accidentally leaving a piece of equipment in his car.
Yep.
Our HD video feed right now is actually being streamed entirely with hardware. Not a single computer touches that. So there's actually a little...
There's a little black box.
Yeah, a little black box. It's called a Teradek. Teradek Cube.
Yep.
And so for those of you who might have had trouble with our HD video feed, if you actually try that right now, it might be a bit more stable because it is... literally a hardware unit that is encoding our video feed right now, and it's worth several $1,000s, and Freeze Frame's friend left it in his car. So we're using it for this weekend. But
because we talked about it yesterday, but we were using it, so we couldn't actually show it.
Right.
We made a little video.
So we did make a little video, and shout out to Freeze Frame for this. We're going to show this in the video feed, and this is just a picture of us acting ridiculous with
that
it.
little thing they're holding is the cube.
Yeah. So we decided to make a little slideshow, and Freeze Frame put some music to it. So let's give that a listen real quick. What?
That's the last picture.
It's the last picture, and then it just cuts out.
Yep.
Thanks for that, Freeze Frame.
You're welcome.
I'm
Perfect
so upset
song
with you.
choice.
That was the perfect random song for a random 10-second clip of...
Did you hear it all at all?
Yeah. So for those of you who don't have the pleasure of watching the video feed, this will be on YouTube later, and we're actually recording it. Another shout out to Freeze Frame for donating hard drive space to me.
Yes.
So I actually have hard drive space to record these 6 gig per episode files.
We'd show you,
of
but
our
it's in
video.
a computer.
Yeah.
Also, I have to butt in for a second. I want to make one comment on these lights.
Yeah.
I swear it feels like the lights from Coneheads. You know when he takes a picture and everyone just burns? That's how I feel right now. Because I just look around and there's all these light bulbs just staring at me. I'm going to come out of here with an amazing tan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. And Freeze Frame's fro is actually blocking Pharaoh's camera. It's pretty great right now. So
Wait. Going through the jungle.
But anyway, so
if you see my last barber, let me know.
I think that's pretty much it for the intro there. But yeah, so you guys ready to move?
I had a weirdly specific law in the very intro.
Oh, you wanted to talk about something before we moved on to news. So go ahead.
Just put it in there. You just want to read it? I can read it.
Oh, yeah, you can read it.
I'll read it.
Yeah.
Apparently, just for a fun little fact of the intro of the show, weirdly specific laws. In Wisconsin, a man may not fire a gun while his partner is having an orgasm. Welcome to the wussification of America.
What? Why? Why is that a law?
Because that is a law. The law of the land. Because apparently...
There was an executive decision for this, Pharaoh. I want to know. What was the purpose of this?
Maybe too many people were just shooting their guns off in excitement.
Some bored
Could you
congressman.
Imagine the body count in hotels.
Oh my God.
Like a cheap motel. It was just like...
That's probably why the law was enacted.
And we have one last shout out, by the way, before we move on. KO, who's a local fur, who not only donated money, but also donated cupcakes. And he donated rainbow cupcakes for all of us. However, Pharaoh got a special cupcake, and it is an all blue cupcake. So maybe we'll take that out a little later and we'll show the video feed. All that stuff.
Can't be eating rainbows.
So thanks to Freeze Frame pushing me into higher quality video stuff. Coming in the future are two things. The first thing coming is proper graphics playout, so we'll actually have moving graphics and CNN style tickers and shit. But also coming is we're going to do video editing on all of the recordings. So you guys know how we've had so much trouble with YouTube because YouTube just has a copyright fit with the fact that we play music during this show. Well, now we can just edit that stuff out.
Yep.
And there we go.
And they won't yell at us for copyright.
There we go. So problem solved. So if you enjoy taking 6 gig files every week, which is nothing to you though.
I've done worse.
You do with like
6 gigs for 3 hours.
You do with like red cameras, which give you like 444 like
No, it's raw.
It's raw.
It's compressed
RGB
raw.
video. It's compressed raw.
Yeah.
Which is still like 100 megabits per second. Higher. 200 megabits per second.
There's a lot of options.
Where are we talking 4K?
4K.
4K at what frame rate?
Generally 24.
24. So 24, 4K, RGB, no YCBCR. So, and compressed.
No, it's not
file.
RGB, it's raw.
It's raw.
Yeah.
How many gigs is this?
So that's like a
fill up?
Usually it's like...
That's like a terabyte hard drive for like what? Like 10 minutes
Usually
of recording?
it's about 2 gigabytes per minute.
2 gigs a minute of video.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
How much do you film?
Well, actually,
That depends on the project.
How many minutes
Here's
are
the
you
thing. Because the bit rate is so high, you actually have to use solid state recording. Some can, like Blackmagic, for instance, actually just lets you put like a SATA, like literally a laptop.
You could go to the
SSD
computer
in it
store and buy a hard drive.
and buy a
shove it
hard
in.
drive and shove it in the camera. But not a lot of cameras use that though. But the funny thing is, you only get with like a 256 gig or like 512 gig stick or hard drive, you only get like 15 minutes of recording, which sounds nuts. But the thing is, with film cameras, it's about the same.
It's like 11 minutes.
It's like 11 minutes for a film camera. So it's actually not that much worse in terms of, if anything, it's better quality with, the same thing.
You just have to buy a lot of hard drives.
You just have to buy a lot of hard drives. But how expensive is film?
Oh, it's...
How expensive is dealing with film?
Dealing with film.
That's the
is a
thing.
lot-
Dealing with
yeah.
film is a lot worse, especially managing it and then having to...
Processing, scanning.
You also waste a lot more because that's the thing is with the solid state memory, you can
You can
keep
reusing it over
whereas the
and over
film,
again.
you're fucked.
Yep.
So, yeah. So there you go. That's where that goes. So that was a nice technical conversation. We should probably move on to news.
We should probably talk about something furry.
We should probably do that.
Yeah.
So Pharaoh, you have news you want to get started with? I usually like it when you go first because you're good at it and I can cue other things and not worry about show stuff.
I do. I mean, what do we want to start? Do you want to start like with? I guess we could start with sad news and then just move out.
Do you guys? Yeah, we should probably start with sad news first. Let's get the sad news out of the way first, and then we can just do all that. All right. Well, I have everything ready, Pharaoh. So tell me when to go.
I'm always ready, waiting for you. So, news time. It's happening right now.
Yeah, this is really sad news.
Furry artist Filthy Rotten dies from surgery complications. Furry artist Filthy Rotten Jackalope Tangla Parton Nee Harris has been reported dead following complications from an emergency surgery at the age of 35. The Twitter blew up, I think, this past weekend of it. It was going crazy.
Yeah, people were kind of sharing it all over the place, and there were all kinds of journals about it and stuff like that. But yeah,
She
it's really
seems
sad.
to have like known everyone.
Yeah.
Was she at FWA this past year?
I'm not sure actually.
I know she's been one of the curators of FWA. I think I met her the previous year when I was there because she's very like flamboyant personality. She's got like a powerful black woman.
Yeah.
So I have to
You'll know
say
if she's
I have to
there.
say this though, to bring some, I guess comic relief to this. I thought it was pretty funny because people were saying, "Hey, this person was a really good person." Well, this person's Twitter handle is Filthy Rotten because that's the name of the person. So there were so many people, like hundreds of people being like, "Hey guys, Filthy Rotten is an amazing person." And I don't know why, but I just thought that was a bit ironic. It was pretty funny. But,
Well, it was great
but in all
because-
seriousness, it
Well,
seems
it was also great
from-
because her husband was saying, she wouldn't want anyone to be sad or upset, so she'd be making comments like, "What the fuck are you guys doing? Why are you crying?"
basically, yeah.
It was kind of good seeing like that, and it's kind of funny seeing, or just enjoyable seeing the community involved. But to continue on, a longtime resident of Atlanta, Georgia, Filthy Rotten served as a volunteer coordinator at Furry Week in Atlanta from 2008 to 2013. She moved in June 2013 to Vancouver, Washington, with her husband Dark Patu, Paul Pattern, and their 3 children. On April 1st, 2014, Filthy Rotten posted pictures to her Twitter account from her stay at the Peace Health Service Hospital for a blood transfusion due to the history of chronic internal bleeding. But by April 4th, she posted that she would be heading to emergency surgery the next day. According to Dark Patu, complications after the emergency surgery of a hysterectomy led to an infection in her brain and cranial bleeding. Filthy Rotten was pronounced dead at 2:14 a.m. PST on April 15, 2014. For Week in Atlanta, staff member Jared Wolfe posted to the FWA Facebook group that the memorial page would be posted on the convention's official website.
So there you go. A bit of sad news to kick off the night, but oh well. I mean, it seems like they had a vibe of, celebrate life, move on, and I like that. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, shout out to Filthy Rotten. I wonder if Filthy Rotten ever tuned into the show.
Sure.
I
She was an amazing person. At least from the very brief.
the general consensus is Filthy Rotten was damn awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's what I can get from it.
that's what I can get from it. I think that's what matters. So, do you want to kick off another article or
I'll do one.
Oh, B has one. Okay, and go ahead. I'll give you the same. Actually, yeah, I guess we'll switch the news music for now. Might as well move on from that. So here we go.
Teen accused of peeing in reservoir didn't piss in the fucking water.
What?
An Oregon teen denies urinating in Portland's water supply, an alleged bathroom break that caused 38 million gallons to be flushed for sanitary worries. In an executive interview with Vocative, 18-year-old Dallas Swanger said he urinated on the reservoir's wall, but not into it on Wednesday. Everybody thinks it's funny and a joke, and I'm gonna be on the news, Swanger told the publication. It's no fucking joke, dude. I don't want people thinking that Dallas is a dumbass because he pissed in the fucking water, in our drinking water. Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
What article is this website from?
Huffington Post.
Are we really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Huffington Post would.
I mean, wouldn't you be pissed about that? Water Bureau Administrator David Schaff told the Associated Press that they would flush all 38 million gallons of water following the alleged incident, despite animals routinely discarding waste into the reservoir without creating a health crisis for Portland residents. To be fair, this is human waste going into it, and I am a lot less...
Well, urine is sterile anyway.
It's true.
So, I mean, if you took a shit in the thing, I'd be like, okay, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
He takes a shit into a reservoir of water, but he pissed, and apparently he pissed even on the outside of it, according to him. So.
Well, according to him, but there
Isn't
is
there like
video.
a 5-second rule or something for water reservoirs?
For 1 second.
What is that?
If you just
supposed to
push
mean?
the
Yeah, if you just
splash
wipe
it
it
away
off,
from you,
splash
then
it
it's
away for-
okay. Yeah, splash.
Within 5 seconds.
Everyone knows that there's water
how much-
reservoir
how much
workers
is a human
24/7
bladder? I
that
don't-
are prepared to push on any and
Yep.
all water. Personally,
So wait, how many? It was like what, 56 million gallons or something?
38 million gallons.
How much does a human bladder hold?
Less than that.
Less than that.
Really?
Thanks.
Really? I would have
Thanks
never
for that.
imagined. That'd be the longest piss ever.
Freeze Frame, Freeze Frame is our video editor. He's also our statistics manager.
Yep.
So he manages all of our
So
statistics.
fact
over
for everyone
here.
listening to the show,
Yeah.
the human bladder holds less than 36 million gallons of water.
38.
38 million gallons of water.
I don't know, 38. I know,
could be
understand that, but
37
37
gallons.
gallons.
Yeah.
There could be a million gallons missing.
I
here
did
and
piss for a couple minutes there one day.
Wow.
30.
Bravo.
Anyway, so I have a news article.
Well, I'm not done yet.
Oh, you're not done. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Tell us more about pee.
Yeah, tell us.
The reality is our customers don't anticipate drinking water that's been contaminated by some Yahoo who decided to pee into a reservoir.
What if it was at Google?
What if it was a MSN?
Bang.
No comment provided, I guess. The decision to drain the reservoir baffled Swanger. Like, how can they do that? Swanger asked in regards to the massive amounts of water being flushed. How can they be like, yeah, we're gonna flush all that water? Dude, I've seen dead birds in there. During the summer, I've seen hella dead animals in there.
Hella dead animals.
Like dead squirrels and shit. I mean, really, dude. Security footage shows the teens loitering around and hopping a fence. Schaff told Oregon Live that the video is enough evidence that Swanger urinated into the reservoir. When you see the video, he's leaning right up because he has to get his little wee-wee right up in the iron bars, Schaff said. There's really no doubt what he's doing. I didn't piss in the fucking water, Swanger said. Swanger and his friends were cited for trespassing and the suspect was cited for public urination. In 2011, 7.8 million gallons of water were drained from the reservoir after a man was caught urinating in it. Floyd Jones, co-founder of the group Friends of the Reservoirs, told...
Oh my God!
Told the AP that even if Swanger did indeed urinate in the reservoir, it wouldn't harm anyone. It's extremely wasteful, Jones said of the draining. Yeah, water is basically a finite resource.
It is, if you think about it.
I mean, everyone wants to say it's an infinite resource, but water does not recorporate itself after being polluted or drained as fast as it is able to be considered a finite resource. So this is fucking stupid.
Yeah, this is pretty dumb. Then again, urine is something that's kind of been circulated in and out of water quite a lot when you think of
Look
just
at Bear
the history.
Grylls. If he can drink his own urine, like
Yeah, Bear Grylls.
he drinks it straight.
Bear,
He likes
Bear Grylls just evolved ahead of time.
he likes it
All
concentrated.
it is.
So
yeah.
are you arguing
I don't
that
think
we should replace all 38 million gallons with just piss, Pharaoh? Is that what you're suggesting?
But the human bladder holds less than that.
Bear
so how
Grylls
would we?
is not a human. He's a furry, and his species is Discovery Channel.
Okay, well, that's the article.
Anyway, so I have an article, and I think this is hilarious because it's from ScienceDaily.com. And I think it's hilarious because they have a summary, and the summary is almost exactly as long as the
It's
article.
in the moderator.
So, what happened?
He needed the link to...
Oh, okay. Needed a link to the article. But yeah, so the summary for this article is almost as long as the article itself. So I guess I'll just go ahead and get started with this. I'll just read the title. Kids' books featuring animals with human traits lead to less learning of the natural world. A new study reports, apparently. A new study by the University of Toronto, researchers have found that kids' books featuring animals with human characteristics not only lead to less factual learning, but also influence children's reasoning about animals. Researchers also found that young readers are more likely to attribute human behaviors and emotions to animals when exposed to books with anthropomorphized animals than books depicting animals realistically. Quote, books that portray animals realistically lead to more learning and more accurate biological understanding, says lead author Patricia Ganna, assistant professor with the University of Toronto's Department of Applied Psychology and Human Development. Quote, we were surprised to find that even the older children in our study were sensitive to the anthropomorphic portrayals of animals in books and attributed more human characteristics to animals after being exposed to fantastical books than after being exposed to realistic books.
So we keep accidentally making furries?
I don't see why this is a problem.
Yeah.
The study has implications for the type of books adults use to teach children about the real world. The researchers advise parents and teachers to consider using a variety of information and nonfiction books and to use factual information when describing the biological world to children, unless you're talking about Jesus, because, you know, we can't lie about that. The study was recently published in an online journal of Frontiers in Psychology. So there we go. So, yeah, basically furries are stupid.
Yep.
Yep. That's pretty offensive. I don't want to be stupid.
You're not stupid.
Stupid University of Toronto ruining my life.
Oh, they're Canadian. That explains it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're upset.
No one from Canada is smart.
Yeah, because haha, we have free healthcare. We need to ruin it for everybody else.
I'm getting jabbed in the neck by a Canadian.
There's a Canadian in the background.
Yeah,
That's just kind of.
I'm getting assaulted by a Canadian.
What is that, like hugs, or is he just gonna say excuse you or something?
In Canada, saying sorry is battery.
Oh man. You know what's funny is we actually invited a bunch of people onto our TeamSpeak server recently, and they were all Canadian. And like every time something would happen, like they were talking, and we're like, "Hey man, just so you know, your mic's a little too loud. Could you turn that down?" And they were like, "Oh, sorry." And then we're like, "Dude, you don't have to say sorry." And it was funny because every like 10 minutes they would have said sorry at least 3 times. And we were just making fun of it so much. And Zumoro, who is the FurCast web developer, was just sitting there like, "God damn it, stop apologizing." He's like, "I know I'm Canadian, but I don't stop it." So yeah, Canadians.
So I had a news article kind of relating to Easter a little bit with this rabbits.
Oh God,
2 of those, and I have a YouTube video if you want to do it while I'm reading.
Where is? Can you link me? Is it in studio?
Yeah, it's in the. You want it in the studio? I can put it in studio. It's right in the document.
What's the document called? Oh, thank you. You actually linked the URL. Thank you. Okay, good.
Ready.
I'll get that ready real quick
It's
while
a
you read.
quick clip. There's really not much audio to it, but I'm just going to
Read
it as I read the article.
Okay, that works.
We'll play it as I read the article. You know what I mean.
All right. I'll do it. Go ahead. Just read the article. I'll get it ready meanwhile.
So, related to Easter, stampedes of bunnies. I think that's valid. Which is Okunoshima, a Japanese island. It's a small island located in the inland sea of Japan, in the city of Takehara, Hiroshima Prefecture. It is accessible by ferry from Oshima, and there are campsites, walk trails, and places of historical interest on the island. It is often called Usagima-jimi, Rabbit Island, because of the numerous feral rabbits that roam the island. They are rather tame and approach humans.
That sounds like a party, man.
The video reminds me of a FurryCon.
It reminds me of FurryCon during Kage's story hour.
Oh, God.
That is like a bird of prey's paradise.
It's awesome.
But to continue on, give you a little history of the island and how it became this rabbit like craziness, which I just found is perfect for this Easter.
Well, they were breeding like rabbits.
They're breeding like rabbit. Yeah, that happens a lot. You know, rabbits breed.
Yeah, like rabbits.
I hate you so much right now. I'm gonna stick you on that island. You're gonna be there forever. The ferry's not gonna come back. You're just gonna be a fox with a bunch of rabbits.
You're gonna come back 2 years later. I'm gonna be Bear Grylls.
You need to have like a rabbit coat over yourself.
Yep.
Anyway, the island was cultivated area of the Russian-Japanese War when 10 forts were built to protect it. 3 fishing families lived on the island, and in 1925, the Imperial Japanese Army Institute of Science and Technology initiated a secret program to develop chemical weapons based on extensive research that showed that chemical weapons are being produced throughout the United States and Europe. Japan was signatory on the 1925 Geneva Protocol, which would ban the use of chemical weapons warfare. Although development and storage of chemical weapons were not banned, the country went to great lengths to ensure the secrecy of the construction of chemical munitions plants, and it continued until 1929. Even though they went as far to remove the records of the island from it ever existing on even most of the maps that existed in Japan.
So one of these facilities exploded, an experimental chemical infused into the water supply, and all the scientists turned into bunnies.
Yes, that's exactly
What happened.
Mm-hmm. The rabbits are actually humans that live forever.
It's terrifying, actually. Very existential.
Existential.
Sounds like something the Onion would write.
Anyway.
Man turned into rabbit still wonders how he's going to file his taxes next month.
Something like that. Rabbit unsure who to vote for.
Which is funny. It says many harsh chemicals were released. Sorry, our documentary film crew people are.
Everybody say
heading
goodbye
out.
to.
Bye.
Bye, John. Bye, Nikki.
Bye, people. There we go.
Talk to you later on.
Are they gone?
Yeah. Wait. Oh, the door's almost closed.
Wait.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, they're gone.
Closed. They're gone now. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can
All right.
finally be ourselves.
Back to doing a radio show.
The island was chosen for its isolation, connectivity to security, and because it was far enough from Tokyo and other areas in case of a disaster. Under the jurisdiction of Japanese military, the local fisher preservation processor was converted into a toxic gas reactor. Residents and potential employees were not told that the plant was manufactured and everything was kept secret. Working conditions were harsh and many suffered from toxic exposure and related illnesses and died. Or turned into rabbits, actually. That's what happened.
Turned into rabbits.
Anyway, present day. The island is now a hotel. As a hotel.
Everyone who checks in turns into a rabbit.
It's like a Miyazaki film, right?
Yep.
There's like this weird chemical in the basement, and it just,
Reminds me of like what's the one? Spirited Away?
Yep.
Spirited Away, except the island floods and like more rabbits come at night.
I feel like this is a Doctor Who problem.
A six-hole golf course and a small camping ground.
Why would you even sleep inside?
Visitors are able to swim in the clean water.
Turns you to a rabbit.
Surrounding the island.
Well, it's clean. It just turns
I mean,
you into
humans
a rabbit.
have like what is it? 20,000 gallons of rabbits have to have at least 10,000 gallons. Million.
The island is swarmed with rabbits. When the island was developed as a park after World War II, these rabbits were initially set loose. Many rabbits were used in the chemical munitions plant to test the effectiveness of the chemical weapons during World War II. However, those rabbits were killed when the factory was demolished. According to Murakami, the former director of the Poison Gas Museum, the current rabbits have nothing to do with those that were involved in the chemical weapons test. Or so they say.
Or so they say.
So there just happens to be a whole bunch of rabbits on an island that...
Hunting is forbidden, and dogs and cats may not be taken to the island. The ruins of the old forts and gas factory can be found all over the island. Entry is prohibited as it's too dangerous, or you're turned into a rabbit. Since it's part of the island park system, there's a resource center across, and then apparently like they swarm you. Like you can just go there, and it's a huge tourist site now. So someone just brought a few rabbits, and they just, since there's no natural predators and abundance of food, they just keep going.
Wow.
And going.
This is terrifying, and every environmental scientist listening or that knows about this is so happy it's a fucking island.
This is terrifying and adorable at the same time.
I don't know how adorable it is.
Whole bunch of bunnies?
Well, we had a similar conversation about an infinite amount of 5-year-olds running at you. I mean, 5-year-olds can be pretty adorable too, but I mean, I don't know.
Their hands are all sticky.
Yeah.
I think Japan just has weird creatures, just in general. I think that's why there's so many. Like,
They're called citizens of Japan.
the creatures are. So the bunnies are citizens of Japan. That's how that population is so high.
Yep.
Maybe that goes.
They're all bunnies.
But see, because I have another funny article related to this because of other animals of Japan.
All right,
Because
go
I'll
ahead.
just branch off right into this because there's always one. I'm not stopping. I'm just gonna keep going.
I was
just
going to segue off of it.
Oh,
Are you gonna
into
say-
what?
I was going to segue and say another really happy article about Easter-related things is woman finds dead body during Easter egg hunt.
Well, we can go right into that after that. I just want to touch on.
All right, let's go right into that afterward. All right, yeah.
I'll just let me touch on this. On an island in Japan, deers act like dogs.
I love that one. It's my favorite.
So you have the rabbits that love humans, and then the deers that act like dogs.
That is the Miyazaki.
Tsukushima is a small Japanese island for its floating shrine, lush maple trees, and exceptionally over-friendly deer. The deer's just like...
Yeah, there's like a couple GIFs on this article, and there's deer just like shaking hands with people, and like...
Like it's just pawing at the person. It's like,
Invite
shake
them
my
into dinner
hand. And the
party.
person just
Invitation.
shakes the deer's hand.
Well, deer are just foxes with handlebars.
The deer are considered sacred, and everyone from local children to tourists can feed, pet, and play with them. Signs remind visitors that treat the deer gently because they will be playful and poke their nose into your pockets, purses, looking for food. But tourists recently discovered that one deer mastered a special trick and treats to get its treats. I was looking for somewhere to eat, and this oyster vendor was feeding a deer bread and shaking hands with him, Michelle Nayura told Huffington Post. The oyster man saw me and waved me over and gave me breadcrumbs to try it. Nayura said the tourists should look out for other magical deer, because some know other tricks like bowling for food. Shakishima is also known for a shrine island and is 10 minutes ferry ride from mainland Japan. I feel like just the nuclear bombs that we dropped on them just fucked over everything.
I feel like it just made Japan awesome, actually.
What if these are actually people trapped in deer bodies and they're trying to prove that they're human?
Again, another Miyazaki film is coming forth.
Just a note, don't feed wild animals white bread. The bleach in them will give them jaundice.
What's jaundice? I don't
That's when your liver completely fails.
know.
Oh, and rye
And
bread
you-
is tastier.
And you turn yellow.
Well, they were previously humans, so I think they can handle
Yeah.
it. So no,
No.
don't feel normal animals. It's Japan. I mean, Godzilla came from there.
Godzilla came from the Pacific Ocean.
Who does he attack? Japan. Probably because they created him, and he's upset because they gave him. He's got.
They fed him white bread.
They fed him white bread. Love it.
Oh my god.
He's on a whole grain diet.
Is that the end of that article?
Yeah.
All right, and then
Okay,
Jump more into Easter-related
Here we go.
articles.
Easter-related articles.
Woman finds dead body during Easter egg hunt.
It's the best surprise ever.
Was it Jesus?
One of the comments said, "It's Easter, give it 3 days." Knoxville, Tennessee. A Tennessee woman says she made a grisly discovery while hunting for Easter eggs in her backyard with a 3-year-old son, a dead body. Tara Hanaskova said that she had noticed a foul smell, but didn't find the source until Wednesday when she noticed tennis shoes in the crawl space under her deck while hunting for eggs with her son. That's terrifying.
That's
Well,
pretty bad.
obviously,
really
someone
creepy.
was just really bad at hiding eggs or bodies. I'm sorry. Maybe they got confused. Hiding eggs, hiding bodies.
Humans come from eggs.
He might have come from eggs. He
Humans-
definitely came from eggs.
What is with you and these terrible, terrible scientific facts? The human bladder holds less than 38 million gallons of water. Humans come from eggs.
He
Yep.
might have come from eggs.
He might have come
But
from
that
eggs.
one's false. The human bladder does contain less than 38 million gallons of water.
Well, technically speaking, humans do come from eggs.
I know, but
yeah.
he said may come from eggs. Everyone comes from eggs. It's not a question.
We don't
about
know that.
No, everyone comes from eggs.
We don't know that.
I know that in my soul.
But science has done some amazing things.
My soul has done some amazing things.
Is your soul
Does your-
science?
My soul came from eggs.
Your soul came from eggs. Jesus came from an egg.
He did. That's what happened. He rose from the grave after 3 days and laid a giant ass egg.
Happy Easter,
Who did?
everyone.
Jesus did or God did?
Jesus did. And it had a corpse in it, and he hid it under your deck. They were very respectful. They treaded lightly. Hanuskova said, "My son has no idea what happened." She said she doesn't know how the man got there. Knoxville Police Department. She doesn't know. How
I don't know how that man got there, but you know.
It was there when we moved in.
If the police found out you had a dead body under your deck, do you ever claim that you know how it got there? Pretty suspicious. The autopsy.
The woman did not comment on whether or not she knew why the body got there.
I think it might be
But
even
her
less
husband
suspicious.
has been missing for 7 days.
and matches the description.
Her husband was also reportedly had an affair a week earlier.
My husband just told me he was going on vacation. I don't know how he got there under the porch.
Porch vacation.
Darrell Debusick told media outlets that the man had been dead about 2 weeks. The autopsy, however, did find that the man suffered from a medical condition that could have led to his death. If you were, like, dying of a medical condition, would you drag yourself underneath a random family's
They
porch
don't
and then
specify.
die?
What was the medical condition? Was he like
Imminent
diabetic?
death.
Was he diabetic? Like, oh,
He had
just didn't-
porchetitis.
Porchetitis. What is that? If you're not under a porch long enough?
Yeah,
Or
you have to
a
be
porch-
under. You have to be under porches,
or on top
Otherwise
of a
you-
porch.
Yeah,
Do you have to be on top of or underneath? Or do
Yes.
you just have to be touching a porch?
you have to be within 5 feet of a porch.
Or
What
you
about a
die.
stoop? What about
Stoops
stoop?
don't count.
Stoops don't count?
No.
What about stoop kid?
Never leaves the stoop.
Yeah, stoop
Does
kid.
not have...
Stoop kid never leaves
He
his
had
stoop.
stupetitis.
Stoop kid afraid to
He
leave
was
the
just
stoop.
stupid.
That's a fucked up show. It's really weird.
That was a pretty fucked up TV show.
That one guy flew away with pigeons.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Pigeon Man! Fucking love Pigeon Man.
Fucking weird.
Hey, it's not as weird as Where Are You Really, Really Big Man?
The death will be listed as natural causes unless something different is found in the final autopsy report, DeBusk said. Meanwhile, police are still trying to determine who the man is and why he was under the deck.
So they still don't even know who the guy is.
No,
They don't even know.
they definitely know he's dead, though.
Definitely.
Well, maybe not.
What if they find out who he is and that changes the fact-
Maybe not.
Like we said, wait 3 days.
Be reborn.
Fucking... We can go right into another corpse story.
You want
How
to?
many people died?
This is
Well,
welcome to FurCast, the show of death.
how many people died in general, or how many
Yes.
people died this week?
How many people have ever died?
How many people have ever died?
Let's Google
Well, I have another. How many people have ever
How
died?
many people? Can you ask Siri? What would Siri say?
How many people have ever died?
Wait, Siri.
How many people have ever died?
Siri's thinking.
Checking my sources. Here's what I found on the web.
It's just a web search, you lazy bitch.
I still love when Meek said Siri make a
107 billion people.
170 billion people?
107 billion people have ever lived.
Don't go overestimating.
Okay.
So I have an article.
If you combined all of their bladders, it might be 36
I have an article that's
million
actually
gallons.
about half a month out of date when it comes to Easter. Because right now we're talking about Easter, but there's another holiday we're forgetting about that happened a couple weeks
Does it
ago.
involve a corpse?
New Year's?
Does involve a corpse.
New Year. That's exactly what it is. No. So workers mistake a woman's corpse for an April Fool's Day prank. A desk clerk in an apartment complex in St. Petersburg, Florida. I believe it's FLA. St. Petersburg, FLA. Is that? What is that?
Flaw.
St. Petersburg, FLA. Was fired after tossing a dead body.
Underneath the porch?
Just that line, though. Like, was
They
fired
never
after...
made the connection.
All right, was fired after tossing a dead body into a dumpster because he thought it was just an April Fool's Day prank.
There gets like
Of
there's
all
a
the ways
point.
to get fired from your job.
Well, Rick and Mortis does amazing things.
There's a certain point where you start to realize that it's not a prank. I think.
I don't know. I've never really encountered a dead body myself. I've known 3 people that are close to me that have found dead bodies.
I think that it would be pretty easy to recognize what a dead body was and is not.
Well, he's a janitor, so I mean, maybe not the brightest bulb in the shed.
Oh, it's just some kid's puke that kind of resembles a body and smells like a dead body. And
What is this? Some kind of new kind of wrapper?
This new kind of wrapper. Oh, I didn't know UPS was using these skin packages.
It's really disturbing.
Ronald
That's some
Benjamin.
dystopian fucking organ harvesting shit. Are the skin packages here yet?
We're
Sounds
trying
like-
to cut back on paper.
Trees. Trees did this.
Our tree overlords have started using humans as packages.
Ronald Benjamin, 61, first saw the body when he took a smoking break around 4:30 a.m. Tuesday morning, but thought it was fake. Quote, "I'm telling you, I swear to God, the face looked like a rubber mask."
Who
end
just
quote.
has a fake dead body?
And why would you just leave it somewhere? That's a pretty fucking amazing prank. I mean, I could understand maybe like
I would have to take some pictures of that
to
shit.
like a friend or something. Like, why would you just like toss a fake body somewhere? Like, if I had a mannequin that looked like a real person, I wouldn't just be like, ha ha.
If you had a mannequin.
If I had a mannequin, if I had a mannequin, I wonder if I had a mannequin.
If you had a mannequin.
Later, guys. We're
yeah, we're going to talk about Paul later. That's Paul.
Later.
Yeah. We're not,
I think that this kind of speaks towards the ego of people in our society. Is that they think they're important enough that someone's going to organize something like this to prank them. Like, I'm going to spend probably upwards of thousands of dollars to get a dead body so realistic that it'll prank you for a day. Like,
It'd probably be
what?
cheaper just to buy a dead body.
It probably would be cheaper to just buy a dead body than a fake, extremely realistic dead body.
It probably would be.
Probably.
I mean,
Although you can't reuse those dead bodies.
technically, a dead body's free. You just got to dig it up.
Or, make
And
one.
avoid the cops.
DIY dead body.
I don't think it'd be that hard.
Do it yourself dead body.
Do it
Kill
yourself,
someone.
dead body. I mean, that's another option. I mean, you just kill a live person, and then you have a dead body.
That's one way to make a dead body.
That's a free dead body, I
It's
guess.
a free dead
all right, so
You have to spend the resources to kill it, though.
Yeah.
we have to finish this article. All right, so I'm telling you, I swear to God, the face looked like a rubber mask, he told TampaBay.com.
Insulting.
Quote, "If I thought for one instant it was a real person, I would have called the police, my manager, everyone I could think of," end quote. The body that Benjamin thought was a mannequin belonged to a 96-year-old woman who lived at the complex. Sometime in the middle of the night, the unidentified woman committed suicide by jumping off of her 16th floor balcony.
Damn.
Whoa.
That explains why it didn't look like a person.
Another employee showed up around 6:30 a.m. and noticed the woman's body, but Benjamin said the body was a bad joke. Oh, no, don't worry about that. It's just, it's a bad joke.
It's just Bill pranking us again.
Well, I mean, maybe if she jumped 16 stories and the bones didn't protrude out of her body and it was like a jelly, like, maybe?
Who sells realistic dead bodies?
eBay?
Guys, Party City.
on eBay.
Party City, 80% off. Yeah, eBay right now. Do we sell?
Go to Amazon. Is Amazon?
I'm going to do Amazon.
I'll do eBay.
Wait.
Realistic
Sorry.
I got it.
dead body.
Maybe Amazon Prime was trying to deliver it and it just fell off of their copter.
I could get a sexy Lolita anime figure for $195.
Season's severed leg. I can get BioShock for Xbox 360 for $15. For some reason that showed up in the search.
I could get a fake hand. It's not very realistic.
I have my fake hand.
Well, it's less realistic.
Attractive full male body fiberglass realistic mannequin flesh tone 6'2", $119.
First off, I have to read what you typed into Amazon, which is realistic dead body mannequin.
Yeah.
Is there a realistic live body mannequin? Are there live mannequins? I don't like.
I searched dead body on eBay and I recommend real
that is
corpse.
a pretty hot mannequin. This is a pretty hot mannequin that I just found on. I mean, look at that. It's got a bulge and everything. Look at this shit.
Realistic.
$40 shipping. That's not bad for a mannequin.
It's $119. So maybe a mannequin is cheaper than a dead body. I feel like
Let me try dead old lady in eBay.
I feel like Mythbusters could pull this off.
Probably.
Anyway, I think we should just get back to the article.
Dead body mannequin.
Well, there's for sale all the possessions of a dead old lady.
Full body patient care simulator mannequin is $6,000.
What did you search for?
$6,000 is nothing for an
dead
April
body.
Fool's
Oh,
Day
you added
prank.
mannequin.
For an April Fool's Day prank?
All right, so another employee showed up at 6:30 a.m. and noticed the woman's body, but Benjamin said it was a bad joke. Benjamin then enlisted 2 people delivering newspapers to help him put the woman's body in a dumpster. It wasn't until 8 a.m. that the apartment maintenance worker, Johnny Williams, 42, found the body in the dumpster, according to WSP-TV. Police were called to the scene. Investigators found a suicide note and a stool she used to climb over the balcony wall. The woman's name will not be released until her family can be notified of her death. Neighbors said she was from England and sometimes talked about World War II. She lived in the apartment complex for at least 20 years, TBO.com reports. Charges will not be filed against Benjamin because detectives believe he sincerely thought the woman's body was a mannequin. Rigor mortis had set in by the time he moved it to the dumpster. However, he was fired from his job of 9 years, according to ABA Journal.
That sucks. Why would you fire him?
He was doing his job.
He was cleaning it up.
If they didn't,
Cleaning it.
if he didn't see the trail of blood leading to the dumpster, he did a pretty good job cleaning.
Yeah.
He cleaned up very well, considering it was a real dead body.
Yeah.
No one fucking noticed.
Wouldn't that like smell and be terrible?
Yeah, it would.
I feel like that wouldn't be part of an April Fool's Day prank.
If a 16-foot drop plus like a 90-year-old lady.
Was it 16 foot or 16 story?
I mean,
16 story.
16-story
Yeah.
drop.
That's-
Plus
That's 160 feet, I think.
Yes.
That's a little crazy.
How does this even resemble a person anymore?
She
Old,
must have-
old people vaguely resemble people anyway.
Were you talking about it was a mannequin the whole time?
Apparently, there's a German
Wasn't
folk
it?
story about how the king of rabbits stopped the chickens from outnumbering them, related to Easter in Germany.
You want to tell the story, Farrah?
I don't know this story.
I kind of want to.
I kind of want to know that story, but anyway, didn't you have another article about?
No, that was it. That was it.
Well, there is an article about blowjobs and necrophilia.
Well, I wanted to read the one about a teen having sex with a hot pocket.
Oh, I already I got
Oh, you
that
got
one.
that
Oh,
one?
you got that one? All right, you want to go next?
Sure, I'll read
Why don't you
about teen explains why he had sex with a hot pocket.
Okay.
How? Why? I feel like that'd be cold as a dead body or hot as like sticking your dick in lava
At the same time.
at the same time.
It's like
feel like
worse than
half your
having
dick-
sex with a hot pocket.
I feel like there's far better things that you could have sex with than a hot pocket.
Like a dead body?
Like,
Which one? The one that jumped or the one under the porch?
Well, in general. Considering.
How many dead people have you slept with?
None,
Okay.
to my knowledge.
Freeframe, go ahead.
Okay. We don't know for sure if we're alone on this planet or if the universe is actually just a hologram, but we do know why this kid had sex with a ham and cheese hot pocket.
at least he chose ham and cheese.
That was
not-
really
Yeah.
wow. That was well said. All right.
Thanks to First We Feast, we're now blissfully aware of what made this 18-year-old, who goes by the code name Versace Pockets, decide to fornicate with one of America's favorite savory pastries, post evidence on Vine, and become internet famous. I just thought it was so fucking funny, he said. He also hinted that he did it to gain Twitter
How
followers.
to basic. Hands
Yeah.
down, it was how to basic.
It was how to basic.
It was definitely
Well,
how to basic.
It wasn't an egg hot pocket.
Oh.
He said he hinted that he did it to gain Twitter followers.
The best part. Keep reading.
But the plan didn't exactly pan out. As Jezebel points out, he's now banned from Twitter, Vine, and blocked by @HotPockets. Boy, this will be really cool on Twitter, and I can't use it.
Oh my god.
The fact that the corporation
that Hot Pockets banned him. Oh my. Or they blocked him, rather.
blocked him.
That is great.
Hashtag fucking a Hot Pocket. Versace Pockets also said that those looking to follow in his flaky, crusted footsteps should wrap it up. I tried doing it without a condom, and it was just like way too hot, he said. I put it in the fridge for a little bit, and it was like, dude, I'm gonna have to use a condom if I'm actually gonna stick my dick in the whole Hot Pocket. He thought about this. He put effort
There
into
is
this.
so much thought that went into this.
Yeah.
What has society come to?
I feel like you're really weird if you do this, but if you put effort into it, you're a fucking loser.
Did he try eating it afterwards?
Oh, is that called a cream pie?
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
And no, he was wearing a condom. But the condom had a hole in it.
It's covered in ham and cheese.
It's covered in ham and cheese.
No different than usual.
What was the why?
That was really bad. I'm sorry.
No, that was great.
I don't want to think about that.
This is a fetish for everything. Is it just me? But I feel like they'd be really small because Hot Pockets are not that big.
An 18-year-old white boy.
There's no way I could Hot Pocket. No. Oh, is that what we're gonna call it now? Hot pocketing.
I'm hot pocketing it.
There's no way I could Hot Pocket.
You couldn't hot pack it?
Oh, Hot Pocket the Hot Pocket?
You're hot backing it.
How'd the Hot Pocket pick out?
Can the lesbians, cis lesbians,
You have to cook
get
it on
in
50% first.
Hot pegging it?
Hot pegging it?
Hot pegging it. What if they hot peg?
I just imagine like
hot peg the hot pocket, then they hot pocket
what's
you.
a pickup line? Hey,
Hot peg the Hot Pocket.
Hey,
hot
I'm
peg
so
me.
big I can't Hot Pocket.
no.
so
What are
big
some
I
pickup
can't
lines we can get out of this?
hot
Like, hey, baby, I'm gonna put you on 50% for the first couple of minutes.
Don't even go there. I'm done. I'm
I'm
done.
done.
Are you a
done.
ham and cheese or a sausage and egg kind of guy?
Oh, damn it. I'm a pizza lover.
Oh, pepperoni.
I like to mix pepperoni with my sausage.
I prefer frozen and dead.
This pepperoni doesn't have enough sausage in it.
So you like sounding, basically.
Ooh, why? What?
Because pepperoni comes in a tube, and so does sausage. What you're applying is a lot more.
By the way, before we continue this article, I just want to say
It's done, by the way.
that of all the really fucked up, borderline illegal shit I've been putting on my After Dark Twitter account, sounding is not one of them.
Good thing.
Yeah.
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 That's kind of scares me a little bit.
Because sounding would be weird considering the stuff you post.
It's like a dick inside a
Yeah.
dick.
I post some really
Anything
fucked up
inside
shit
the
on
dick,
my
though.
Yeah.
my After Dark Twitter account is pretty bad. Like, it's really bad.
Oh, it just gives me chills. I can't think of that. Oh,
Sounding with a Hot Pocket?
just in general.
Oh, that'd be weird. It'd be all hot pocket shaped.
Your dick is Hot Pocket shaped.
No, if you sound,
is that what you said?
If I sounded a hot pocket, my dick would be hot pocket.
It'd probably have to be a frozen Hot Pocket then.
Doctor, I'm peeing blood. Oh, that's marinara sauce.
I hate
Can we
everyone.
please move on?
I hate everyone in this studio right now. Like I've never before have I just wanted to be like, fuck all of you. I'm done.
You're welcome.
This article has definitely brought me to that point.
You're welcome.
Can we just finish it, please?
These
That's
are
it.
the 4 states where blowjobs are illegal, but necrophilia is not.
Just gonna keep this trending.
This week, the Louisiana state legislature voted down a bill that would repeal the state's long-standing ban on sodomy. Of course, the Supreme Court ruled long ago laws like that are unconstitutional.
Wait. Could you read back?
Back that up.
Back in.
There we go.
But it literally is constitutional. The 9th Amendment gives all rights not given to the states and federal government to the people of the United States, and the federal government or the state does not have the right to sodomize anyone, so people have the right to sodomize each other.
Not in Virginia.
What if the government's people?
What?
I don't know.
That counts as the government.
Then can they Sodomize? Then can you be sodomized by the government?
No, because they don't have the right. We have the right as people of the United States.
What if the government's people?
It's clearly unconstitutional to not be able to sodomize whoever you want to sodomize with their consent.
Consensual sodomization
Is constitutional, yes. I should be a Supreme Court judge.
Anyway,
But just how much do some states in the South not care? Well, enough to tell consenting adults that they can't suck each other's private parts, but not enough to tell them that they can't fuck dead people. Over on Gawker, Adam Weinstein put together a list of the 4 states where oral sex is illegal, but fucking the shit out of some rotting corpses is not. Drumroll, drumroll. Louisiana, North Carolina, Oklahoma, and Kansas.
None of those states have people found dead bodies under porches.
Or they would have fucked
because they're in their houses now.
because they're in their beds now.
Oh, wow.
No surprises there.
How do you, do you police just bang down your door and just be like, I hear you're giving a blowjob. You're under arrest? How do you stop a blowjob from happening?
I feel like I feel like the one time Pharaoh in his life goes, I'm straight and I appreciate all this stuff, but there's one time in my life I would like to at least experiment a little bit. And the one time Pharaoh gives a blowjob, the fucking cops are at his door. I heard you're giving a blowjob, and they just fucking bust you.
Why would I give a blowjob?
I'm saying as an experiment for one time in your life you would give a blowjob.
He could also receive one.
Why does everyone want me to experiment so much?
I don't know. I'm mostly gay, but I would still experiment with a female if given the chance.
You get a female blowjob?
You've given your wife blowjobs, I'm sure.
Give my wife. Eating a girl out is not giving a blowjob.
I don't know.
Do not blow air up into a vagina. It can kill them.
I've never tried blowing air into a vagina.
It can kill them. Do not do it.
It's the best way to kill someone.
It's the worst way to kill someone.
I don't know. How'd you kill her? I blew air into her vagina.
I wonder if you could do the same thing with a dick, but it would be a lot harder.
I don't.
But unintentional.
Wait.
Moving on.
I can't.
Please.
How?
Please.
Wait.
Please.
What?
This is
How?
so bad.
No. It can't be. No. No, I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
It can kill.
There's no way. What about a queef? That's air in a vagina.
When air is blown or forced directly into a vagina without allowing any air to escape, an air embolism, the abnormal presence of air in the cardiovascular system, could form, which can be fatal.
So that's if you seal it. Blow into it and then duct tape it shut.
It's fucked up.
Sounds kinky.
Yeah, some people are some weird shit.
It's kind of like breath play, but with genitals.
Breath
Play with genitals.
Do you often breathe through your penis, Paradox?
No.
He uses it as a snorkel.
Oh my god.
My God.
This is the worst we've ever been. This is so bad right now.
I feel bad. Just anyone who is first time tuning into FurCast and just hearing this. I think we're worse than Notcast right now. Just call this episode Notcast Wannabes or something.
I don't know. Something like that. Anyway, could you finish the article?
I'm a little ashamed that I read this fucking article because it's from a website called www.brobible.com. It has a button on the side of the fucking sidebar. It's an option to ask a bro.
That hurts.
That hurts me.
That hurts. Especially since you read it out of all people.
Is it
I feel your pain out of this.
I feel like I've been tricked. You dangled the macabre fucking disturbing thing in front of me and I had to take it because I'm me. And I read something from brobible.com.
Oh my God. I don't even know where I want to go anymore.
You done with that article?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. I thought you weren't. I played the music, so I thought you weren't done.
Can I just jump to something real furry real fast?
Yeah. Please,
just to
dear God.
Tone things down.
Almost done with
After
news.
that, I got an article.
All right.
Alrighty. Scroll to the back of here. This is just a quick one, but I found it kind of interesting. Ryan Reynolds listens to, quote unquote, The Voices. Here's another movie with furry aspects for 2014 to look forward to. To add the addendum of the addendums to the It's addendum, isn't it? Addendum?
Earl of Addendum? I think it's addendums.
Addendum to the addendum. The Voices is a movie that Wikipedia hopefully describes as a comedy, crime, horror thriller.
Okay.
Comedy, crime, horror thriller. I mean, I think we're just kind of taking things and just smashing them together.
Yeah.
Now, like,
Goddamn liar.
it features Ryan Reynolds hearing voices from his pets, notably a dog who's acting as his self-conscious, and a cat who would prefer he just kills everyone. I feel like that's
accurate.
I feel like that's very typical of the two animals. Yeah. I'm a dog. I love you. Be compassionate. I'm a cat. Fuck everything.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know?
I
feel like cats are psychopaths.
I don't think they are.
It depends on the cat.
I think most cats are too lazy to be psychopaths.
Yeah, I feel like cats.
Well, that's why the cat is telling him to kill people.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm too lazy. You do it. Go ahead. Just off everyone.
Yeah, and give me a pizza while you're at it.
Wait, I've never seen a cat eat pizza. Is this a thing?
There's a cat in the
here?
background.
You have no idea how much pizza I eat. Seriously?
Are you out to kill everyone? You're
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he's part dragon too, so.
That's Wrath, who in the background, who just leaned forward into the mic. By the way,
He's our
guys.
audio bitch to my video bitch.
Yeah, he's just chilling out.
Hi.
There you go.
The movie is a German-American independent production directed by Marjane Strapili, best known for for her Best Animated Feature Oscar nominated, but not furry, Persepolis, which lost to Ratatouille, based on Satrivi's biological graphic novel of the same name. Besides Reynolds, it stars Gema Arterton, Anna Kendrick, and Jackie Weaver. Reynolds provides the voices for varying animals during the movie. The Voices premiered at the Sundance Film Festival back in January to mostly positive reviews. However, so far it has not been picked up by the U.S. theatrical release. IMDb lists the theatrical release date as October 3rd in Sweden. We'll have to pay. Who do we know in Sweden? We know
Rave.
Rave's in Sweden.
I believe so.
Yeah, Rave is in Sweden.
Yeah, Time's boyfriend.
We'll have to pay him to go see it and then have him call in and give us a review of The Voices.
Shout out to Sweden.
Just the country itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interestingly enough, I feel like they portrayed the two animals quite accurately, though. I feel like dogs are kind of man's best friend and loyal, and then the cat is just kill them.
I still like cats better. As a wolf, I like cats better. I also like feline anatomy and furry art better. And I also generally have more successful relationships with feline furries.
You just dig the barbs.
Nah.
He's a barb man.
Anyway.
A barbman.
Moving on.
All right, you have an article freeze frame.
A barbman?
A barbman?
You know, like how people kind of mush the words in English?
Kind of.
Like a yeoman instead of yeoman. Like that's how it's spelled.
Yemen?
Like a yeoman. So he's a barbman. I'm a barbman.
Knotman?
I'm a knotman. A knotman. I prefer a knot in my asshole.
Knotman.
Best furry last name.
Yeah.
John Knotman.
John.
Dick Knotman.
Dick Knotman.
Dick Knotman.
All right, anyway, so you had something you wanted to read.
Yes.
Donald.
After years on a South Florida bond court bench, Judge John J. Hurley thought he had seen it all, but even his jaw dropped Wednesday when he read the name of a man who appeared on drug possession charges.
Oh, God.
Edward Cocaine, the judge read before pausing and blurting out, "What? My last name is Cocaine," the defendant acknowledged, as his other arrestees behind him dissolved into giggles. A court official confirmed it's on his driver's license.
There's a video. The judge actually just flips out. He's like, "Wait, your name is Cocaine for drug possession charges." And the guy's like, "Yep, my name is Cocaine." And then the judge is like, "Are you sure?" And the guy that's next to him, the prosecutor, he's like, "It's on his driver's license."
We'll have to play this video.
And then he's like, "How many times have cops pulled you over and said, 'Get out of the fucking car'?"
Just about every time I get pulled over, Cocaine replied. He told the judges his great-grandparents came over here from Greece and they changed it. That was back in the 1920s. Unfortunately for the present-day Cocaine, he was charged with illegally possessing Xanax, but released on his own recognized the Sun Sentinel reports.
Recognizance.
Recognizance? Mm-hmm. Okay. Normally I go through and, yeah. Naturally, cocaine isn't the weirdest name to pass through the halls of the Justice in Fort Lauderdale. In
Of course, it's fucking Florida.
Florida man.
Always, like Florida, anytime you want to know news, you know what? Anytime the strangest fucking article comes to this FurCast studio, I'm going to just be like, it's Florida. It's definitely Florida.
I'm going to type in Google a Florida man and see what it auto-completes to.
Florida man, secret identity, cocaine.
Let's see.
Crack. But I love the other astonishing name in 2012 that passed the justice system.
Nothing good. All right. Naturally, cocaine isn't the weirdest name to pass through the halls of the Justice in Fort Lauderdale. In 2012, a man astonishingly named Jack Me Off Mud was arrested on a litany of charges including assault, disorderly conduct, resisting an officer, possession of alcohol in an open container, and violation of probation.
Maybe he wasn't resisting an officer. Maybe the officer was like, "What's your name?" He's like, "Jack me off." Resisting arrest. Stun gun.
I would not doubt it.
That guy's life sucks. I think I would get my.
I feel like if any officer was like, "What is your name?" and you're like, "Jack me off, mud." I feel like they'd think you're like harassing a police officer.
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
It would go, NYPD's got a gun!
That's
I'm
it.
telling you, my name is Jack Me Off.
Who names their kid that?
Obviously someone from Florida.
Maybe cocaine.
Maybe cocaine.
Florida man names kid Jack Me Off.
Maybe you just should marry, the guy named Cocaine, so then they could just change his last name.
Jack Me Off Cocaine.
Jack Me Off Cocaine. I don't know. That'd be the most badass name. Just imagine that on your driver's license.
Middle name Do. Jack me off.
Do cocaine. That'd probably be the
Jack me off and do cocaine.
So your middle name is Andu.
Andu.
No, and
Last name could also be
two
marijuana too.
No, I think your
Mr. and
your
Mrs.
middle name has to be Andu.
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 What if the last
Jack
name was
me off and do
marijuana?
cocaine.
Mr. and Mrs. Marijuana. Mr. Marijuana.
I don't.
Wasn't there also a Bizao Doo Zoo Bippity Bop 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 that got
Yes,
arrested?
There was.
Yeah.
What?
Like,
I think it's just testimony to
I
there was a
wondered,
secret
like,
society of people with
the
funny
Huffington
names.
the
Post.
strangest name that I wanted to name my child was Oliver Benjamin, because then he'd be
Benjamin or Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Okay.
So he'd be Obi-Wan.
Oh.
See? Little play on words. And then he'd
I would
hate
be
me.
pissed.
How about what do you? What do you want?
I hate you. So much hate towards you. I don't know why, but you just generate hate. I think you did it with a lot of it. Wait, what's the thing with the nickels?
Just to point out in the video feed, Freestream, your fro is just eating Pharaoh right now.
Wait.
He's drowning. He's
Yeah,
drowning.
he's drowning,
It's
yeah.
going too high.
Oh man. Is that the end of that article?
That's the end of that.
You guys read Done With News?
I think we're good on news.
I think we're good.
Are we good on news?
I think we've heard a lot of news.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Florida man?
Florida man?
Florida man.
Florida man. That's the news. So then, where do we go from here? We can go on a break.
I'm ready for a break.
Do a break.
Oh my god. All right. Well, I guess what we'll do is
I want Jack Me Off Mud to fight Mr. Cocaine.
you guys are listening to FurCast live on Xana Broadcasting Network and Pause App Radio. We will be back after a quick 10 to 15 minute music break. Welcome back. That was Master Exploder by lovely Tenacious D, of course. Before that, we had Ass Rider by Tam Trum, and before that, we had New Lines by Justice. Of course, all of that was on the Twitter feed as well, over at twitter.com/XanaNP. It is driving me crazy having so many Twitter accounts, because I literally have 7 Twitter accounts to manage, including that one. Anyway, so while we're back on the air, before we get started with the emails, which, excuse me, is usually the next segment, now that we're back from our first break, we have a bit of storytelling to do, and Pharaoh has some stuff with him.
Pharaoh has a box.
So yeah, you know what, Pharaoh? All cams on you.
No, this box is from Dale.
Oh, really?
He said I needed to get. This is his birthday present to you.
To me?
Yes.
Okay.
And here
It looks heavy.
Oh my God! Holy crap! Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Dale is somebody we regularly room with at various conventions. So shout out to Sorcerer Dale. He's an awesome guy. It's one of those things where, you know, you just kind of end up in a random room on a forum or something, you know, because you need a roommate. And, you know, a lot of times it's really difficult to trust those things because, you know, you end up with bad roommates. But with Dale, we kind of just hit it off and it was perfect. And so ever since then, we're like, hey, let's room with you because I trust you.
and so since, you know, you're 21 and you didn't like booze, so.
Oh, God, no. Oh my God! It is a box filled with Pepsi.
Is this a Pepsi?
21
cans. It is a box filled with
21 cans of Pepsi.
I'm so happy right now. I can barely lift this to show it on the camera, but there you go. That is a box filled with cans of Pepsi.
Signify your 21st birthday. There's 21 cans.
Blow out your can, Dulce.
It's a good one. No,
God damn it! I will.
Thank
give
you,
Nick-
Sorcerer Dale. Thank you very much. That means a lot to me. I really like Pepsi. I'm kind of thirsty right now. I'm gonna kind of grab one of these. No, I'm kidding.
Would you like a cold one?
Actually, were these outside? Because they feel kind of cool. Like maybe you had them in your car or something.
They were in my car.
They were in your car? Okay. All right. I just wanted to know. Well, it's only like 50 degrees outside, so that's not cold enough. So they'll have to go in the refrigerator, but that's okay. I've got some Pepsi to hold me off until
They're
then.
a little cooler than room temperature.
They're a little cooler
Well,
than
considering
room
this
temperature.
room is like 80 degrees.
This room is like 85.
Okay, it's a lot cooler than this room's temperature. But
Right. Anyway, okay, so next we have some story time, and the story time is Paul.
I don't even. Oh, let me just get him up here.
I gotta put this can of Pepsi down.
Oh, he's not wearing protection.
Yeah, Paul's not wearing protection anymore. So
He's not
this
like-
is Paul. So Pharaoh, I'm just gonna let you take the stage here. So first of all,
He came with us to MCFC,
right? Yeah, I remember that.
and it was a mess.
It was a mess. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know or who don't have the pleasure of watching the video feed, Paul is a leg. Literally, it is
Paul Legman.
Paul Legman. That's Paul's last name. And Paul is a what kind of leg is it? It's like just like a, how do you describe it?
Amputee leg?
It's an I don't know. No, it's
Prosthetic.
prosthetic. Yes, it's a
Prosthetic
little
leg,
prosthetic
yes.
leg. And it's just, it looks like it's a right foot, and it's wearing a sparkly sandal.
Bedazzled flip-flop.
It's a bedazzled flip flop. Yes. So you've been just kind of bringing this leg with you to various furry cons now.
Do you drink out of it?
And people drink out of it. Yeah.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
So this leg, I mean, has just been with you in your family for so long. So this is what Paul is. By the way, Paul has a Twitter feed. So if you guys would like to follow Paul the Leg, or rather Paul Legman on Twitter, you can go follow at Paul the Leg. I would appreciate it if some fans could link that in the chat room, please. I'm sure somebody can figure out what it is. There's actually more followers than there are tweets, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so while I go and pull up that
All
Twitter
the
feed
followers are pretty much from
the
It's
con, right?
58 followers and 20 tweets.
So Paul the Leg. All right, so while I pull this up to show the people in the
I
video
posted
feed
it in chat.
some photos of this, I would also like you, Farrah, to start describing the history of Paul, where this whole thing came from.
This is a story.
It's
I
a
tell
family
you.
heirloom.
It is a family heirloom, to be honest. It's,
Family's weird.
Your family's weird.
That's correct.
So here's Paul
our
at a room
families
party.
Get along well.
There's
Probably.
Paul at the MCFC room party. That was when Paul became DJ Paul, right there. And then we've got Paul sitting at a desk. We got Paul with a horse head.
Is this fursuit?
Yeah, and then we've got
Paul with
The
the rough-
condom broke.
with the condom.
He had,
Condom.
he had a crazy night.
Yeah, we just got endless pictures of just Paul on this Twitter feed.
Paul got sick and was throwing up.
Yeah, there's somebody drinking from Paul. Didn't Uncle Kage also take a drink from Paul? I
Uncle
believe.
Kage stole the leg and started drinking out of it. And he was just like, "Can I partake?" And he just grabbed it and just started
That's Sozin right there, and we got that's Havoc, my good friend Havoc, drinking out of Paul. It was in the room. It was one of the
That's
first.
Sozin selfie with the Paul.
Yeah, and we So this is Paul the Leg, and it's like I said, guys, twitter.com/Paul the Leg. So anyway, okay, so let's get to it. What's the history of this whole thing?
Oh. There's two histories. One, a story of how Paul got his name. That'll be on another episode of the show.
Okay,
but
that's fine.
I will tell
Fucking
you how
tease.
Paul made his way into my family's history. So, my parent. We should probably do music for this because it's going to be a nice little long story.
Okay, all right. Let me see what kind of music you want. The new music or the old music?
Can we put on Boots Were Made for Walking?
Actually, let's do. Oh my God.
Walking on Sunshine.
All right, so let's do this one. Here we go. Go ahead, Pharaoh.
Alrighty. Story time for everyone. So, my family, a couple years back, took a trip down to South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, with a bunch of their friends, a bunch of different couples. They rented a house, and that's where the story begins. So, they decided that they were going to party, and they did party, and they, went out drinking, went to various bars, got a little inebriated, I would say, and then found their way to a pawn shop. While they were roaming through the pawn shop, making fun of different things, because that's, that's what you kind of do as you go through a pawn shop when you're a little inebriated, they stumbled upon two of these. There is two. Paul has a sister.
Paul has a sister. Okay.
So,
Paulina?
yeah, Pauline.
Pauline?
So, the gay couple that was with my family as well down there were like, oh my God, we can make so many cool things with this. You can make it into a lamp. You can make it into a pot.
Christmas story.
So they're about to leave. My mom goes, no, we need to buy this leg. So everyone else is like already done with it. So she goes up to the counter and like puts $2 down on the counter and was like, I'm going to buy this leg. She's a little inebriated at the time. So, and the lady's like, I'm not selling you a leg for $2.
Well, damn. What's the going price?
An arm and a leg.
Because it's prosthetic.
Anyway, moving on. Okay. So then she.
So she puts down like $5 or $6 and then she just like kind of walks out of the pawn shop and the lady's like, whatever.
She just leaves.
Well,
So-
shit.
That's my favorite part of the story is when your mom is just like, I'm gonna buy this, and she just puts down more money and then just leaves the pawn shop. Nobody does anything.
So they took it back and they started to get drunk with Paul. So Paul was drinking. Paul had an amazing night. Went crazy down there with them. There's pictures of it. Pictures on the beach. So then the story continues. So that ended, and the leg came back out with my parents to Buffalo. It sat around our house for a little while, and then my parents are like, well, we can't just have the leg sit here. He needs to explore the world.
Paul needs to travel.
He got
He
lonely.
needs to travel.
He needed to stretch his legs a bit.
So the leg then became like my family's little meme between them and the other couples, like a roaming gnome. So Paul became a roaming leg, always walking. So he made his way to different places all over the place, back to Florida. He went to Florida and then Texas. And then while he was in Texas with the gay couple, they decided that he was depressed because he missed his sister Pauline. So he had a sex change and became Pauline.
So we have a gender fluid leg?
So Paul became Pauline. That's where the bedazzled sandal came from. He was all bedazzled. He had like amazing decorative, like lacy. It was pretty precious. There's a note too of how the leg became transgendered. So then the leg came back up to my family, and then after a few
I'm silently offended, but continue.
I'm sorry. He's sorry.
So she's sorry, or is it gender fluid at this point?
Well, she changed back.
Well, would you describe that? So Paul came back to Buffalo.
So came back, and after a while, like the bedazzlements fell off and everything. Bedazzlements, and then like the lace, everything came off. So then it became Paul again, but just fabulous Paul because he still had the bedazzled sandal. So
Pharaoh?
Pauline turned back into Paul
Pharaoh,
because he just couldn't.
this is your parents.
This is
Your family. Have I ever told you how normal you are?
It's very normal. So then Paul continued to sit at the house, and then I was going up to Frontal Equinox, one of the furry cons, and my mom's like, you need to bring Paul. And I'm like, I'm not bringing a leg to a furry con. It's not happening. And she's like, no, he needs to travel more. So, end of story, Paul came to Infernal Equinox in Toronto with me. And everyone was like, how did you get it past border? And I wish so. I should have just strapped it into the front seat in the passenger seat and just had it sitting in front with me. Because that would have been the horrible story of how you got past border patrol.
I just imagine that your parents have been pushing Paul like a little brother your entire life. It's like, take Paul to the park.
So Paul didn't really catch on too much at Infernal Equinox. We, had a few drinks out of him. He became furry then because he got the horse head, which the horse head, I don't know where it is, but it kind of matches him. You're gonna stick. So
the horse head is Paul's fursuit.
Yeah, so Paul felt a little left out at a furry con.
This is Paul's fursuit right here.
Without a fursuit. So you have it on backwards. You put his head on right. If you're not gonna do it, you have to do it right.
Backwards.
I'm sorry I put the horse head on backwards on the mannequin leg.
There we go.
So to feel more comfortable at cons, Paul donned a fursuit. And the story gets better. So, everyone that went to Infernal Equinox was like, oh, you can bring Paul to conventions. I was like, yeah, maybe. So we took him to MCFC. And this is where it went fucking nuts.
It literally did.
It literally went fucking nuts. Like, everyone went crazy over the damn leg. So, we started with whatever room party with it, and like it was like, oh, this is Paul. People started taking selfies with Paul, and then Booze entered Paul. So Booze then became a drunk Paul, and everyone was just drinking the booze out of him. So we ended up going down to the main lobby of MCFC, and people were like, is that a leg? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, are you kidding me? Is there booze in that leg? And I'm like, yep. And I just started drinking out of the leg.
How deep is it?
It's just totally hollow.
That's not totally.
It's not totally deep.
It's like thigh deep.
Thigh deep. It's thigh deep. So another fun part of the story was like we were walking past the bar and people were just like, "Oh my fucking god!" Like absolutely mind blown.
Wait, can I see that again?
Yeah, you can see Paul. Paul, here you go.
All right, here we go. That is a weird texture.
It's like squishy.
It's like human flesh
It's
texture.
squishy.
Almost.
Yeah. It's probably really expensive.
Sketchy stain at the bottom.
Booze.
Well, you guys sanitize it every time, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you guys always sanitize
It's
the
been
inside of it,
sanitized. Even if people drinking, I was making sure it was sanitized. But then we walked by the bar. It was me, Sozin, and Nintendo, and we were walking by the bar, and like Kage saw the leg, and they were laughing because like they're like, "What the fuck is going
Skechers.
on?" He's classy. You
have
can
Paul back.
hold Paul.
I can hold Paul.
You can hold
Okay.
Paul. So then Kage was like, can I have a sip out of that?
Hoisted it with
And
your
it just
hand like a
grabs the leg and starts chugging on it. And then everyone at the bar was like, we need to drink Paul! We need to drink Paul! And everyone starts passing the leg around like a fucking chalice. And people just start drinking out of it. I'm like, I can't handle this anymore. What the hell is going on? And people just like drinking out of Paul. And they're like, Paul's delicious! It's so good!
So what was in Paul? Does Paul have a specific drink?
It was just a mess of alcohol.
So then, this is my favorite part, and this is right when I walked into the room party. So let's just, I'm gonna be honest right here. This room party, so that you guys decided to open the doors between two hotel rooms, there must have been like 40 people in this fucking party.
God.
Like, you walk down the hall and people are just screaming in this room. Like, it was nuts. Everybody was rip-roaring drunk. And like, I walked in there a couple of times, and there's just like people with no clothes on. There's people just drinking like crazy.
Probably
it was
biggest party I've ever thrown
biggest
at a
room
con.
party we've ever. So okay, so it gets better.
So all of a sudden, while Paul was in the room,
somebody decides to take a Bluetooth speaker
and throw it
into the Paul, because the leg is hollow for the most part. And
So
then
it starts
he just goes,
echoing the
DJ Paul! And everybody just starts screaming DJ
people
Paul.
start screaming, DJ Paul! DJ Paul! So people start going nuts again in this room. The leg is blaring EDM music out of him. Like, there's bass going and everything, and everyone's like worshiping the leg and fucking going nuts. And then he has his own song too.
It's not this song. I don't remember what this. I don't have the
Meek
song.
has the song. He made mixes of it.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, DJ Paul.
So then, like, he gets a fursuit leg on him now. So now Paul is now a DJ mersuiting leg, drinking alcohol, absolutely nuts.
Where'd the mersuit part come from?
Because he had a Paul on, so it was his fursuit, and then everyone's like, no, it can't be a fursuit, it's his mersuit! He's such a fetish leg! It was a mess. It was just, honest to God, I can't describe anything else besides a mess. So then, Paul, like, I don't know if it was that time, but like, I was like, you know what? Paul needs a Twitter. I made a Twitter, and everyone at the con was going nuts over it.
You gained 24 followers, by the way.
Right. I said this at the convention, but I have to say this again
Oh my God.
for the air.
This is
More people at that convention
knew
who Paul was than they knew who you were. More people knew about Paul, what Paul was, the story of Paul, than they had any idea who Pharaoh was. Because I was like, yeah, that's Pharaoh's leg. And they're like, who's Pharaoh? And I'm like, you don't know Pharaoh? And they're like, no, I know DJ Paul.
I know
and I'm like,
DJ Paul.
Like,
DJ
people
Paul.
knew who. So, okay, we've got so many plans for this thing. We've got so many
Oh
plans.
my God.
So
wait. Let me finish one more thing of the story. So then Meek, one of our local furs to us, stole the leg and started going, and that's where like Paul went to a room party with the horse head, and that's where all the condoms, because they were trying to get condoms over the leg, and they went through like 16 condoms. Because they kept breaking, and they just kept trying. So there was like a condom over the top of the head and over the foot, and they were like, Paul needs protection! And then that's where the one was like, Paul had a crazy night, so they were taking photos ops of that. And then there's a picture of Paul, and like someone had him standing up, and like he fell over. There's video of it, and he fell over, and everyone screams, Paul! Like, it's so like anticlimactic. He's just standing up, and he just like
Dude, the entire lobby. Like, I just have to say, like, okay, I got a Snapchat from Meek, and it was just me and a bunch of people in the lobby, and everybody was drunk. And I play this Snapchat, and it's just Paul falling over. And the whole lobby was like, Paul, no! And it's just nuts. So this whole thing is just, and I'm
One
just gonna...
more story about Meek
right.
at FCN is
This is DJ Paul. This is the room party, by the way, on the video feed right now. This is DJ Paul right here. So this is DJ Paul playing some tunes. Everybody's dancing.
What is he wearing?
the fursuit Paul.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
He donned his office sandal and wore a fursuit Paul.
Office sandal.
And so then Meek took it to the dance. So Paul was on stage as DJ Paul, and the other DJ that was on stage, I don't know who it was, and I'm so sorry, but got so pissed off because Meek was pounding the leg on the table, and Adi was like, DJ Paul is a fucking mess. And the DJ was like, I'm gonna call security if you don't get out of here. And he's like, but it's DJ Paul! So DJ Paul like hijacked the stage at MCFC at one point.
Everything is ridiculous about this.
This story is just so fucking
So
ridiculous.
next week on FurCast, we're gonna get to learn why Paul has the
his
name
Paul. And oh my God, the story behind how Paul got the name Paul is such a fucking mess too.
I'm
The history of this leg goes so deep. Like, it has an ancestry like .com history behind it. Like, I kind of wish I could find out who originally owned this leg, just to tell them the stories of what has come of it.
Thousands.
I feel like even if it was worth a lot of money because it was like really high quality or something, they would just let you keep it if you just told them the stories.
Thousands of years ago, Paul's ancestors were just a toe.
So I still remember
Evolved
like
into a leg.
other DJs coming out, like Trent or Rockstars, as most of the fandom knows, and the Amazing Shark. Like, he saw us the day we were leaving, and we had Paul in the lobby, and he comes down and he just starts bowing. He's like, DJ Paul, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
Like all these random, like really well-known furry DJs are just like, I'm not nearly as good as DJ Paul. So yeah, that's...
So now so obviously Paul is now coming to AC with us. And I
Okay,
guess
so here, so
now
we have plans.
When is DJ Paul playing?
All right,
at
so
AC?
here's the thing: we, me and you and the entire AV crew at Anthrocon have plans for DJ Paul. So DJ Paul.
I don't know them yet, but we have them.
Fur is actually, I believe, going to contribute to some of this. For those of you who know Fur, he always DJs at Anthrocon. Shout out to Fur if he ever watches this. So what we're planning on
Everyone
doing
wish
is
him a happy birthday.
when we've got the crowd of like several thousand people in the ballroom, like raving their asses off, we're going to have Fur just put Paul right next to the DJ equipment and then just walk off stage and just get tons of pictures of a crowd going nuts with a fucking prosthetic leg on Paul on the stage. Forgive me, Paul, for referring to you as just a leg. I know. But yeah, so the full name is Paul Legman with 2 G's.
It was funny that people kept coming in our room and it was like, why do you have... Remember in the beginning of the con?
Well, what's funny is people would come into the room and they're like, why do you have a prosthetic leg? And I'm like, are you making fun of Paul? Don't fuck with Paul! And we would just, yeah, it was great. It was really good. I think that was MCFC.
Welcome to FurCast, everyone, and welcome to my life.
By the way,
I'm going to put Paul down now because he's heavy.
So by the way, for anybody who is wondering, we also have some awesome group shots, group photos of everyone who is at MCFC that is part of Xana Creations, the FurCast crew, all there. Freeze Frame wasn't there. But I mean, there were just tons of people there. So if you guys want to see a giant group photo of everybody, that's on the Xana Creations Twitter feed, which you can get a link to on the right side of the FurCast website.
I'm not going to link it because it's really easy to get to.
Yeah. So
B, any response to any of that?
Humans are weird. Just the species in general. That this could happen.
You have to work with us. How does that make you feel?
Are you going to go home tonight a little more satisfied that like, wow, at least we have DJ Paul as part of our friendship, At least he's in our friendship circle.
It's impressive, I have to say.
Like
I knew immediately what it was used for, though.
You call like you drank out of that, didn't you?
As soon as you put it up here, I was like, "You drink out of that, don't you?" Yep.
That is the most amazing chalice you can ever have.
I think Paul needs an official drink.
I think that you should go around pawn shops around the country and assemble an entire prosthetic person.
I apologize to everyone. But
This is a pretty weird episode of FurCast.
I apologize to everyone, but I regret nothing.
I don't regret anything either. I don't regret that room party.
I don't regret that.
Even though we got shut down from a noise complaint, I don't really.
No. So we had the loudest, craziest room party I have ever had at any convention. Like, people were coming the next day and saying, your party was fucking amazing. Like, I was like, I don't remember a lot of it, but I know it was crazy. Like, we filled that room up. So it started...
Quote, prosthetic person, end quote, somebody says in the chat room.
So I'll give you a little backstory. Like, we started the party. Like, me...
Actually, hold on. We will actually figure out how much it costs to get a realistic dead body to play a prank on a janitor.
That's true.
So yeah, the night started with like, so I guess there's a little other story of how my MCFC went, but it started that night of me and CJ drinking like something like lemonade, like hard lemonade, while watching chick flicks at the con because we were just tired that day. So we're just like, you know what, we're gonna take an hour out of our time. We're gonna sit down, relax, start drinking, and then we moved to my room, and it was me, CJ, Sozen Riker, and Matendo. And Matendo started making lemonades, but with Everclear, which was a bad choice. Revit tried Everclear for the first time.
Revit did too.
Oh, we got the story for that.
Didn't Revit drink out of the leg as well?
I think so.
I think he did. And didn't he pass out in our room?
No, he passed out in Sozen's room.
Oh, so
there are pictures of Revit on
because I remember there being pictures of Revit passed out. That was pretty great.
But then, like, it just started like more people came in, and we all still continued drinking. And then like the party, there's a room party kind of going on next door. It wasn't really. It was just a few people drinking over there.
And it was one of those hotel rooms where there's a door into the other hotel room. Mm-hmm. So like
then our party started getting nuts. So there was like 15 people, and Meek and CJ, and like as soon as you have Meek, CJ, and Sozen in a room, things are gonna get loud and moans and screams and everything. Yeah. So like it was already starting to get nuts, and the people next door are like, "Oh my god, what the hell is going on at that store next thing?" So we had the door open, and we had the door open to our room, and people just started coming in and like partying with us. And then we opened the two doors because we started banging on their door and they started banging on our door. And we're like, let's just open the doors. So we opened the doors and combined rooms. And then everyone started screaming. And then like, it was a mess. It was just a mess. You came back to the room like how many times too?
Like 3 times. And it took me quite a long time to get from one side of the room to the other.
It was fun though.
Yeah, it was fun.
I'm so sorry, but I don't regret anything. But then like we like at one point we were like, this party's too nuts. We just gotta stop. And like as soon as like 2 people left,
Pharaoh,
and, like we started.
You were really, really drunk. And do you know what you said to me?
I said I love you.
Pharaoh comes up to me.
Not love though.
Rip roaring drunk. And he's like, Paradox, and he's leaning all of his weight on me. And I'm just standing, trying to stand perfectly straight. I'm like, yes, Pharaoh, because I don't drink. And so Pharaoh is just like, I fucking love you so much, man. And he just starts hugging me. And keep in mind that nobody at this party had their shirts on, including women who were there. And so Pharaoh is just leaning him, and he's like, I fucking love you, man. And I'm so glad we do FurCast together.
And then I was like, but I can't handle this right now.
He's like, I can't handle this right now, Paradox.
It got so nuts. I was like, I just can't handle what's going on in this room. I was like, it needs to end. It just needs to end. And then I'm like, guys, we're just stopping. This is going on. This is no. And like we started, people started leaving the room. We were just starting to shut the doors, and like Consecrated started coming out, and they're like, you guys need to calm down. And we're like, I walked to the door, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. It's like, it's ending now. And I was like, it's over. Everything's done. And like everyone started leaving right before Consecrated came up. So I'm like, we're all looking at each other like, how did it even go on this long? Like, how did this happen? But that was our MCFC. That was our con.
Yeah,
that was my con, guys. That was it. All I can say is I'm so sorry, but I regret nothing.
There you go. Well, that was an hour. No, not really. But do we want to read an email or two before we go out on our next break?
It's been a while since I've told a full story on FurCast.
It has been a while. That was very nice. Thank you for telling that whole thing.
I hope the chat room.
I think the
Well,
chat
this isn't
room
the whole
loved-
story, because we have
Well, you
why
still don't
Paul is
know-
named Paul.
That's another
Yeah.
episode. That's another episode. So even if you like that, you stay tuned.
Tune in next week for why Paul's named Paul.
There you go. So in the meantime, do we want to read an email or two before we go on another break?
Everyone's like, so drunk Pharaoh was gay. No. Mm-mm.
No, he still wasn't gay. Trust me.
Still,
No,
not even close.
drunk Pharaoh
I
is
was
just
like,
more
oh,
fabulous.
I'm so glad that you love me, Pharaoh. Tried to grope him. He was like, nope. I didn't actually try to do that. I probably would have killed me.
But more later, like, nope.
It's his off switch. He just falls over.
There's nothing funnier than a drunk person half in fursuit.
I wasn't half in first. Who was half?
I think you were half in fursuit when you did that. You weren't? I remember you didn't have a shirt on, but I don't remember anything else.
Were you drunk too?
Yeah. There were some Snapchats that came out of that party where people were just screaming.
Yeah.
Pretty much. There was also a couple Snapchats from our car ride where we just screamed profusely for no
God.
reason. And a couple Vines. Yeah.
It's a YouTube video, but I'm not going to link it.
Oh, there is a YouTube video of the
I'm
party.
not gonna link
There is
it.
a YouTube video of
No.
the party.
No.
Please send that to me later.
No, you can't have it.
Why?
I will send it to you, but you have to promise not to make any gifts out of that.
I will not make any GIFs out of it.
If you shake on that,
I will shake on this.
Don't make any.
I will not make any GIFs.
It's just a mess.
Turn off the mics and say it for a second. Just I want to know.
What do you mean? Say what?
I want to know what happened that you won't even share a link with people. Just turn off the mics.
Oh,
and
nothing,
say it.
just in
Nothing
general.
happened.
Nothing happened. It's just that bad?
The chat room is spamming link it.
What happens in particular in the video?
I'm like licking the leg. Like you can see that I am fucking gone. Like I'm just like, right. So I'm just like, you get it close enough, I'll be like,
Yeah, there were some shots of Vero that were pretty ridiculous.
Something inhuman that's not you.
yeah. Like I was looking at it, I was like, it's bad. Like, oh. Nope. Not even how much you spam it. Nope. Maybe on a future episode. It's too recent right now.
The wound is
It's
fresh.
still a painful memory.
The wound is too fresh. Oh my god.
We should moderate the chat
fucking
now.
chat room.
The chat room will calm down in a minute.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, so do we want to move on to an email? I think we should. Actually, Freestream, do you want to kick it off? I know you had an email.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
Speaking of Meek, who is in the party, he's the one who's supposed to remix the email theme.
But yeah, I would say that I'm a very happy and social going drunk.
You are.
You're just happy and social going everywhere.
Everywhere. Like
You're fabulous.
Like I don't get depressed when I drink. I don't get like asshole-ish. I'm just very like upbeat and like more talkative than normal, if you can imagine that.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm so weird that I act like myself. So when I'm drunk. Hi, Mom, if you're listening.
Is your mom really listening to FurCast right now?
She was a while ago.
Oh, okay. That's fantastic. Your mom is weirder than you.
Yeah. We should put my mom and Pharaoh's mom in
a room.
In a room.
So and my mom.
And
That'd be pretty fun. Yeah. Anyway, well, you had an email.
I have an email.
So I'll let you get started.
Do we have a theme for emails?
Yes.
Mail's here.
Here's the mail, it never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wail.
Dear FurCast, first I would like to say I love your show. It helps me get through a rather long and boring day at work, even though I get strange looks from time to time when I burst out into laughter. I'm currently going through the old shows and really admire the way the show has progressed. I am a husky from Ohio, and I find myself having trouble finding a mate. I won't bore you with the details, but let's just say I'm the dreaded 3-0, and this leads me to the topic that I have for discussion. With the fandom bringing in a bunch of younger furs, do you think that the gray muscles are being forgotten? Would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on the matter. Last, I would love if you could give a shout out to my best furry friends, Zembos, Von Drakis, and Fox Knight. Thanks for taking the time to read this, and keep up the awesome shows. Play for yours, Zill Riley.
Very nice.
There are a lot of young furs, but there are a lot of older furs as well.
Yeah.
And, the middle-aged.
There's kind of all over the place. I mean, even at the con, I met several people who were like over the age of 60 who were there. There was actually a couple people, I'm just going to fully admit this because I don't give a shit. I actually met some interesting furs who were at the con on Grindr, who were actually like getting to late middle age, and I ended up hanging out with them and going out to eat and stuff. So it's like, really the fact is, there is no age limit on the con on the furry fandom. But anyway,
my mom is still listening. By
your mom is still listening.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She sent me a text.
Oh, okay.
There's no
freeze frames, Mom.
High freeze frames, Mom.
I might be a bad influence.
You are a bad influence.
Sorry. I'm just gonna hide behind the bike.
Yeah, there's no real age limit for the furry fandom. In fact, a lot of people just kind of seem to be at the peak of enjoying it, like in the 20s and early 30s, and from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I wouldn't say there's.
I have a lot of friends who are usually most people that I hang out with are from roughly early 20s all the way up to young, like 40s, to be honest. Like, well, I'd actually say mid 40s, to be honest. Those are most people that I hang out with all the time. So, I mean, I wouldn't really call someone who's, I don't know, like, do you call someone who's 40 a gray muzzle, or is that still young?
Well, what makes them a gray muzzle is the fact that they're older, or the fact that they've been in the fandom a long time?
I mean, yeah, that goes by it too. Some people say that, gray muzzle can be for the age of who you are or how long you've been in the fandom. Someone who's been in the fandom, say 15, 20 years, might be a gray muzzle, but you might be 40.
Yeah.
Or even younger. You might be 39 or something like that.
I'd say it could be either.
So,
both ways.
You know how Anthrocon is a kick-ass dance? I mean, it's like, like a 20,000 kilowatt sound system, and
how we blow speakers every year.
$50,000 of lights, and right. So I've showed my parents videos of Anthrocon, and this year my mother actually wants to visit Anthrocon on Saturday night for the dance, I think. So that's gonna be pretty hilarious. That'd be pretty funny. I don't know if she's actually gonna go through with it, but she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do that." But I was like, "You realize it's July 4th weekend, right?" She was like, "Oh, I don't know." So we'll see. That would be pretty funny, I think. A couple of people in the chat room are saying they're gray muzzles. One person says they're a gray sheep.
Freeze his mom goes, "Ha, I'm the bad influence." I love you, and I have not even met you. You're amazing.
Our favorite family activity is playing Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah. My parents, I actually had to explain to them what Cards Against Humanity was earlier today. Yesterday, right. You were at dinner, remember? You were there, yeah. That was great. Oh man. Anyway, so
We all come from fucked up families.
that
is what
email
we're
you
putting
read, was that really the only major question? Is just
That was the only major question, but it was interesting.
okay. I don't have any particular emails unless anybody else has one. So Pharaoh and B, this would be a good time to kick in. Well, I find one as well.
I've got one.
Okay, go ahead.
Can't be accepted. Hello, crew of FurCast and any guests. I tried to get my dad to understand what furry was and what it means to me. He basically can't accept me for anything I do. He says I can be what I want, but then turns around and says what I want to be is stupid and I'm stupid for wanting to be it. As I tried to explain furry, he basically started putting me down. He said furry was a fake thing, that it wasn't a lifestyle. He said I was just looking for things to be and that I wasn't really a furry. He continued to call me fake and pretty much making me feel like shit. I tried to tell him that furry is different for everyone and it was hard to explain, but he just kept telling me to stop lying and said I knew nothing about it. Then he began to complain about the prices of fursuits even after I told him that only about 20% of furries wear them. He then turned the subject to him and continued to ignore everything I said. Do any of you guys have any advice to get him to speak out to him and maybe I get him to listen to what I have to say for once? Thanks for taking the time to read my email. Lots of love from your desert feline, Stripe Wing. Sounds like your dad's a furry.
Just
What?
a little bit.
Just like just joking, but like subtextually, kind of sounds like he is.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Like you're not a real furry. I know what a furry is, son.
He complains in the exact same way that a real furry complains.
Anyways,
I have more followers than you in an FA. I know what a real furry is.
is this
I
really
switched to
something
Ink Bunny.
Is there? His dad just says that. You still on FA, son? Fucking poser. I'm on Ink Bunny.
It would be an Ink Bunny. It'd be Weasel.
Weasel.
Yeah.
Weasel. He's a modern parent.
He's a modern parent. Yeah. Is this really something that you need your dad to accept you for?
I actually completely agree with B here. I mean, I understand that you do need to get your parents to accept it somewhat if you want to go to cons or you'd like to hang out with furry friends all the time. But, I mean,
Specifically if you're living with them still.
right, specifically if you're living with them still, but at the end of the day, like, if they don't accept it, then they don't accept it, but if they're not stopping you from being who you are, then fine. I mean, that really sucks to not be accepted by your parents, and that's really just, like, not that's not a happy thought, and it's not exactly, I'm not saying, it just isn't stressful at all. Of course, that's very stressful, but if it doesn't necessarily limit you, I would say for at least now, try not to worry about it too much, unless it really is limiting you, in which case, I guess that
He
might be
tried to
important.
explain it to them, and they just, really hadn't. They're still stuck in their own current views. So I mean, if you tried, you at least tried. So I mean that you can give yourself that, clause. But as for trying to convince them, I don't think you're going to. To be honest, people are set in their views. You can't really go about and try and change them.
Mm-hmm.
So just accept it for what it is that you tried, and didn't work. So leave it at that, and just continue being who you are, and don't let them calling you a poser stop you, because you know who you are.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not actively harming you through this, then do they really need to accept you for it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I feel as if this is really only a problem if they're actually limiting you. And in which case, then all you can really do is keep trying again later and give them time. And maybe they'll accept it. That or, if you got some furry friends at school or some furry friends in the local area that you've already hung out with. If you haven't, that can be a little difficult, but you could always go with another friend to a public place where there are furries to go to a meet. That's pretty safe because it's a public place. So if you're nervous about, hanging out with other furries or random people on the internet, because every person on the internet is a child molester, apparently, especially Freeze Frame's mom. But basically, I think as long as
Ask
you
me
can
about
play it
hamsters
safe,
sometime.
as long as you can play it safe, I think you could kind of get involved even with your parents being limiting, and as you get more involved, your parents might actually see some of these people and realize hey, they're pretty cool. And that's actually one of the things my family went through is my parents were kind of like this is a little weird. They didn't really stop me, but they were like it's a little weird. And then once I started having all these furry people over to do these shows or to build this studio or to be involved in all this stuff or to donate all this money to charity, my parents were like, oh wow, okay, this is actually like these people are really freaking cool. And so now every time I have a friend come over, she asks them what their species is, even if they're not a furry.
My mom does the same thing.
Yeah. So it's that type of thing. It's just, it can take time. And I would say, even though you think furry is like this unique thing, and furry is pretty unique, in terms of this type of situation, bringing it onto your parents, it's not that unique. There's all kinds of things like this that can be difficult to bring onto your parents, like maybe the career you're interested in that they might not like.
Hey, my dad used to dress up like a vampire and go to discos. I'm sure that was probably really hard to talk to his extremely conservative parents about.
Yeah, and
but in the same, it's just along the same vein. Obviously, like a lot smaller. Like there's not national disco vampire conventions, which I wish there were. But
that'd be
fucking
awesome.
great. I would
probably go to that.
I would go to a national disco vampire convention. But
We should probably just
right, I would too, yeah.
Let's just do it. I think we can get tons of people involved.
But even you had trouble, even those parents that went through that with their parents, you also had trouble with, your different political views, different possibly career views, and also your alternative gender roles. So it's like, there's stuff like that where...
But that's like more detrimental to life. But then like furry or like disco vampire. Like what I'm trying to equate it to is like my dad went through this disco vampire phase, and I'm sure that my fucking 70-year-old, obviously not 70-year-old at the time, like police officer grandpa wasn't like, I'm totally accepting of this, son. Good job. Like that didn't stop my dad from going to disco vampire raves. Like he still went and had a good time. Your parents don't need to accept everything that you like. They're not going to. They're different people.
Yeah.
Even if they're violently, vehemently opposed to this shit, like whatever, you're going to be able to do it no matter what once you're out on your own. So just keep enjoying the things that you like, and unless it becomes like an abusive issue, then your dad doesn't really need to accept you for being,
And it's
Sparkle Foxpaw in the desert.
Sparkle Foxpaw Yif 69.
A trigender pyrofox.
Trigender pyrofox. Yeah. Have you seen that, B?
What?
Have you seen that? The Cyanide and Happiness video?
No.
We have after the show. We have to show you.
Do you
that.
know there's a second Furry Force video?
Yes, there's a second
Yeah.
Furry Force video. I got a million emails about that. So many of you are like, "OMG, Paradox! There's a new Furry
What's
Force
funny
video."
is I think it was released at MCFC.
It was, and we watched it at MCFC.
And like people already there at MCFC were like, "Did you see the new Furry Force video?" I was like, "No, but I'm going to go into my room right now and watch it." I would watch that if that was a series because it's so fucking over the top.
Yeah.
I have pictures of Revit and Sozin watching it, and Revit is just like face gawking, like, oh my god.
Yeah. So for those of you who have never heard of what we're talking about, College Humor has now made a series of videos called The Furry Force, and they are hilarious. So definitely give those a watch when you get a chance. Again, that's College Humor that did that. Moving to New York this summary, says this email title. Hi,
Enjoy your
Paradox.
taxes.
What?
Enjoy your taxes.
Yeah, really enjoy your fucking taxes. Hi, Paradox B, Pharaoh, and any guests.
Hi.
I'm Suka. I'm a Fusky, and I'm pretty new to the fandom. I've been listening to your show since November last year. I'm going to be moving to either Rochester or Buffalo, New York this summer. Hey, we live in Buffalo, New York. Well, sort of. Partly to help out a friend who needs a roommate, and partly to move closer to my potential mate. I am from Colorado, and I have recently been participating in Denver's very active furry community. And I was wondering what the community is like out there. Are there any meetups or Yahoo groups? Yahoo groups. I'm pretty shy, and I would like to meet some furries before moving, so I have someone to go to meets once I'm there. I would also like to give a shout out to my potential mate, Kit He, or Clit He, KLT. I don't know how to pronounce that. Is it KLT?
I think it's KIT. I think it's
KIT? Kitty?
It's Clitty, that's really
Kitty.
Clitty.
Clitty. My mate Clitty. He's the coolest Canadian fox I know. Thanks from a shy but social Fusky. I love the show. Boo, I am too late to catch the archive.
If their name
Sorry.
is Clitty, I give them all of the props.
So much respect.
But
If I'm ever
I need-
not lazy, I will start at 86 like you suggest, Colin P. P.S. probably will be silently stalking in chat like normal.
Which is funny that if his name actually is Clitty, because Sozin Riker like registered for FE when we were up there as Clitty City. And he thought that they were gonna stop him.
Some of the badge names, like Time Suppression, who's a kangaroo, his badge said "I'm rude."
Really?
Yeah, is an ROO''D. I'm rude. The
He
worst
got,
one. The
Son of
worst
Adi.
one. The worst one was cerebral palsy.
I don't know, Sozin.
Ow.
Sozin,
That was the worst badge name I caught. That is cerebral
Sozin's-
palsy.
Sozin's as like Clitty City, but he did not think that was going to let him pass. And the people that were at the badge registration were like, Clyde City or something like that, Clyde City. And he's like, yeah. And just took the badge. And people were like, then people saw him with the badge and they're like, are you fucking kidding me? Is your name really Clitty City? And he's like, yep.
So, all right.
I hang around people that have such bad influences on me.
So I love how you're like so clean cut and everybody else around you is just like has so many reasons to be in jail or something. I don't know.
Shout out to Paul.
Shout out to Paul. Paul is cooler than you, Pharaoh.
Paul's a bad influence on me.
Paul's cooler than you.
Paul is cooler than me. He's definitely.
Paul's a DJ. You're not even a DJ, Pharaoh.
I know. What kind of furry am I? I don't DJ or anything.
All right. So, so how's the group in our area? The person writing the email
Stable
asked.
now?
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place. It's been up and down there where there's been several different kind of like phases it's gone through. It kind of goes in and out of phases. Sometimes it's really organized and there's a Facebook group and other times people.
There's one Facebook group now.
Oh, there's one Facebook group now. Wow, that's a step.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of, there's a lot of furries in the Buffalo and in the Rochester area. The Rochester group, I'm not too sure about. I know that there's like 2 different groups, but I know there's plenty of them. There's a lot of furries here. There's at least 50 to 100 furries in the area that have been known to go to like a meets. Not to mention several furries we know who don't go to meets. So yeah, it's definitely a pretty well-off group.
Someone said I should get Paul a Pop You Fur t-shirt and have it wear it at cons.
Did you just call Paul it?
Paul Legman. Someone said Paul Legman is a Pop You Fur.
Yeah.
No, I know.
No, Paul is trans, wishes to be called it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Paul's gender pronoun.
I don't know if Paul's trans anymore.
I don't know.
It was just the gay couple that decided that Paul was trans and then it wasn't anymore.
I don't know. I don't think that's a phase.
Yeah,
that's pretty. Yeah, and if it was a phase,
it was 2 gay guys.
Yeah.
Well, fuck them because then they're just kind of appropriating trans experiences. I don't like them more than I don't like you, Pharaoh.
Okay, it wasn't me that made Paul.
No, I know.
Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
I'm not judging you.
I'm sorry. I just had to tell the story the way it was.
No, it was just 2 cis gays pulling cis gay shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
Cis gay.
Cis gay. Oh my god. All right. So
see, that's accurate. So I can't be angry about
It's
it.
true. 2 cis gays pulling cis gay shit. Pharaoh's over there being straight sexual.
Whoever the fuck.
Straight sexual.
Pharaoh's being straight sexual.
You got your toe in straight culture, but you're asexual.
We have the battle between straight sexual and Mrs. Tumblr over here.
I didn't know I was married to Tumblr, but okay.
Ms. Tumblr then.
You are Ms. Tumblr.
Tumblr sexual.
Ms. Tumblr.
Ms. Tumblr.
Like,
Have you ever heard of the Tumblr like insult generator?
No.
It is hilarious. I think
I've seen it before.
It is so funny. Hold on. So Tumblr insult generator. Let's see if we can.
You're like a straight socialized asexual, Pharaoh. That's kind of pathetic.
Sorry.
All right, let's see. I think I just found
What's
it.
funny is Revit had a chart of where he lied on the spectrum, and it was like super sexual, asexual, straight gay or straight bi gay, and his was like down here, like somewhat close to bi. And I was like looking at it, and I was like, what's funny is me and Revit are like almost the same. I was like, if you move that dot a little bit more towards the straight side, then that would definitely be my exact location.
So for Tumblr insult generator, here's just a screenshot of a thread, and this is like almost all in caps. OMG, you should stop fucking fetishizing marginalized type personalities, you sexist rascum. No one cares about your damn creep male opinion, you Redditor. Die in a fire, you misogynist rapeologist. Stop fucking objectifying stretch mark type people, you misogynist rapist. Go drown in your own piss, you furry abusing cisgender elitist basement dweller. Drop dead, you judgmental transmanic dehumanizing small fat overprivileged rapist.
What the fuck is a rascum?
I don't know, but this is Tumblr insult generator.
A radscum is referring to radical feminists, which
Okay.
which
God.
it's fine. A lot of feminist ideals are really good, but the thing about radical feminists is some of them are
Castrate all the males.
Well, you put radical in front of anything and it becomes horrible.
Well, the one thing that's particularly bad about radical feminists is that there is a certain subsection of radical feminists called TWERFs, and that means trans. I prefer TERFs, trans exterminationist radical feminists.
Wow.
And-
really? Really?
You never heard about the book, The Transsexual Empire?
No.
It was written by a radical feminist in the 1970s called Janice Raymond.
I'm on a Tumblr called Women Against Feminism.
Yeah.
There are so many. I'm closing Tumblr. I can't handle this.
But basically, Janice Raymond is a piece of trash, and she wrote this book basically also convinced the United States government that transgender women don't deserve health care. So I can't get health care because of radical feminists. Yeah.
I don't understand radical feminists.
Radical feminists are fucking assholes. Unless they're trans radical feminists. And they're really good.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
So instead of being against males, they just think they should convert all males to females or something.
What? No.
Trans
radical feminists.
Radical trans feminists.
Radical trans feminists. That's what I'm thinking.
No, those are just people who think, those are just trans women who think that women should have rights.
No, that's okay. But I thought radical trans feminists is like, you're male? Not anymore.
No, of course.
They have like a
feminists
religion.
want to kill all of us. They think that we're just lying. They're worse than a lot of men.
Who was? Wait, what?
Radical feminists are worse than a lot of men to trans women. Yeah.
Or to men.
Radical anything is a little bit ridiculous.
Radical pharaoh.
In general, don't go on Tumblr.
Radical pharaoh.
All right. So, do we have any more emails before we finish off the night? We could go on one more break and then do that. It's up to you guys.
Well, we missed our one break that we were about to take.
Yeah, why don't we take a break? I think we
Let's
should
do a
probably
break.
Just a quick.
All right. You guys are listening to FurCast on Xander Broadcasting Network Positive Radio. We will be back after a quick 10 to 15 minute music break. You guys are listening to FurCast. That song we just played was Greer Zoller by Glenn Phillips, and that entire song you just heard was recorded with one microphone. It was a stereo microphone. It was a stereo ribbon mic. And what model was it, Arath? He knows in the background.
I'd say Cascade X15.
Whoa, where do you come from?
Cascade.
behind you.
It was a Cascade X15, which if you get the Lundahl transformer is roughly $700, but it is a stereo pair ribbon microphone, and it was one mic in the middle of a room and all the musicians around it, and it sounds amazing. So shout out to Glenn Phillips for that. They produced some really awesome, relaxing, just kind of like sort of like country rock, folk rock stuff that's just really beautiful. Before that, we had a lovely hippin' and hoppin' and hip-hop track from last night. That was Ain't Got No Time to Waste by AIM, which is quite an oldie at this point.
That was very white of you.
What?
That's the whole sentence.
I know. That was. I don't care.
If you're new, then
There are white rappers, so it
there's
doesn't really
actually
matter.
a music show Friday nights, Friday Night Tech.
Yeah, we do run. There's actually 3 shows. This is not the only show. FurCast is just one of our shows. There's actually 3, 2 of which are in the studio. There's the one which was last night, which is Friday Night Tech. That's our music show, our music entertainment show, which Free Stream was on.
Woo! And Wrath.
And then tonight on Saturday night, starting 8 p.m. Eastern, currently daylight time, also Eastern Standard Time, is FurCast, of course. And then on Sundays, we have Maestro Paz, and that's our British correspondent in the UK, Mike Paz, who runs that, and that's over at maestropaz.com. You can get a link for all of this stuff at the top of the FurCast.fm website. And we are back for the very end of the show here, before we move on. I'm sure we'll do a bit of a post-show, we'll probably take some calls and stuff like that. But either way, and we have to show that video to B, because B has not seen the Sign On and Happiness video. So we'll show that for the post show. So shout out before we move on, and by the way, Pharaoh or B or one of you guys, please get an email or something ready.
Okay.
While I do this real quick. So shout out to KO for making us gay cupcakes.
Rainbow cupcakes.
They are rainbow cupcakes, and they are delicious. Except Pharaoh's. Pharaoh's was just blue. Literally, there was a cupcake with Pharaoh written on the side of it, and it was just blue. So shout out to our local furry KO for that. I'm sure he's listening, and he's pretty awesome. He's
I can't be eating any of those rainbows and shit.
yeah, Pharaoh
They're
can't
bad
eat
for my health.
any of this rainbow cupcakeness. So
Not all of us can be sexy trans dykes, Pharaoh. It's okay.
Sometimes I'm a little jealous, actually,
God,
because your hair is just absolutely gorgeous, and I'll never have hair like that.
I don't even do it for the show.
I don't even do it for the show.
I don't even do it how I dress up in my gender for the show.
Was that GIF of you?
Yeah.
Because that was like so fucking fabulous.
Which
Like,
The one that I tagged you in?
yes.
Yeah, that was
that
not
was
even a good
fucking
one.
you.
Yeah, that was
Holy
me.
crap, that was amazing.
That wasn't even my best.
Which GIF?
Like I was like,
It's graphic interchange format. It starts with a G. It's fucking GIF.
GIF.
Okay, whatever. Point being, the graphical
whatever.
the graphical interchange format image. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, there was an image that was posted on Facebook that was tagged with Pharaoh, and it was a GIF of apparently B.
Apparently,
it's
definitely me.
It was you like dressed as your proper gender, and it was fucking amazing. I did not think that was you. I was like, holy shit, that was really good. Congratulations on that. Wow, you fucking pulled that off.
Of course,
which is a good thing.
I like how you chose blue. Blue's always a good color.
What the? What? I feel like a laptop is. Oh,
it's me.
It's you.
We'll play it after the show.
I was
There's like someone outside.
I was like, who's screaming outside the window right now?
The FBI is finally here for that torrent I did 3 years ago or something.
It was Space Ghost.
Oh, okay. All right.
Coast to coast.
Anyway. All right, so guys, what are we going to move on to?
Don't touch me.
They want a link of the GIF.
You can find it if I'm friends with you on Facebook.
Which you don't add most people.
I have 70 friend requests right now.
You have 70 friend requests.
You know you can decline people.
I like looking at them.
All these people are worse than me. Not worthy.
Oh my god.
These people want contact.
No, but see, I have like almost 85 friend requests, but I usually friend all the furries. But then I have people like fucking Exodia.
The
friend
forbidden
request.
one?
What?
The forbidden one?
Yes, friend requesting me, and I'm like, I'm not adding Exodia as my friend.
What about the Red Eyes Blue Dragon?
I think I have a Blue Eyes Blue Dragon.
Blue Dragon.
That's just someone's
What about
name.
Pikachu?
Dang.
I don't have Pikachu adding me as a friend.
Okay.
Shout out to all 70 people who want to be friends.
But then
with
I
me
have
on
like
Facebook.
people from like
You're such an asshole.
Start reading them.
You want me to start reading them?
Shout out to all these sad fucks.
Shout out to Silver Streak Wolf for wanting to be friends with me on Facebook.
Oh my god. We can't do this.
We can't.
This is
too
so
big.
bad.
Shout out to Crescent Shadowclaw for wanting to be friends with me on
God.
Facebook. Shout out to Mila Silvertail for wanting to be friends with me on Facebook.
You're an asshole.
I really am.
You're a horrible person.
That's what I do with my life.
don't worry, he watches you.
She watches you.
She watches you. Yes, she watches you.
Not really.
Pharaoh, I just want to point out, you know how you make that wide-eyed look? You have made that so much tonight.
You're welcome.
Like this wide-eyed look that Pharaoh can give, like it's just all the time, like crazy. As Freeze Frame takes a picture, where there's gonna be tons of pictures. Yeah.
Also, I'm sorry.
We have to have a Dropbox album of all the pictures, or put them on a Facebook or something.
Yeah, you have this Facebook page.
Yeah, we do have a Facebook page. Facebook.com/FurCast.
Facebook can be used for more than just making yourself feel better than others by not accepting friend requests.
Then B.
This show has definitely just caused me to be wide-eyed that all the stuff that has gone down on this show. Like I just
Specifically talking about sounding.
no,
Sounding a hot pocket, Pharaoh.
nope,
Think about it.
nope.
Thinkaboutit.com.
I was wearing blue lipstick and blue eyeshadow, Vero.
Stop it.
You didn't even like it.
Freeze Frame is just taking pictures of all of us. Anyway, so
There's gonna be weird shit coming out.
No, I saw it just before I left. I didn't like it yet.
You didn't like it yet.
I'm gonna like it.
It's not.
I like it. That's why I mentioned it.
Well, I mentioned it first.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I brought it up.
I remember you saying, "Oh, I don't know."
Yeah, because I said this isn't how I have my hair when I'm dressed.
Yes. Yes, it was.
That fucking stuck in my head.
do you guys have any emails that we want to finish off with, or what?
We got distracted.
Yeah, we.
Tetsuo Takari,
Like-
friends with Stephen M. Wan, likes your link. Oh, like the link. How did they? Okay, whatever.
Am I reading?
I have an email.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, go ahead.
You can go ahead.
An outsider's opinion. Sup, FurCast. I'm a California fur who is in a predicament. If you're reading this after May 2nd, ignore this email. Oh.
Shit.
It is April 19th. I want to ask a very good friend of mine to prom, but the fact that I can be a little shy huge shyness problem. I can't even approach them with that question. So how would you recommend I ask them to prom? Also, I can't seem to even talk to them about it since we are close friends and it can be an awkward subject. I keep getting the same advice from Jiffy, awesome dude and my bro, which is just approaching her with it, which is easier said than done. I guess that's all I have to ask you guys. If B is non, tell her I said hi next time you see her. And whoever is reading this, a shout out to my friend Kara and the Rope. P.S. Share the leftover cookies next time. I don't know what that's alluding to.
We had cookies yesterday.
We did have cookies
Is this person
yesterday.
a time traveler?
Yeah,
Maybe.
There were none left over. We ate all of them.
Okay.
we did.
I went to prom. Who went to prom in this room?
I did.
I've never been to prom.
You went to
Never
prom?
gave a
I went to
shit.
prom.
How was prom?
I skipped my graduation
It
to
was-
go to Anthrocon.
Good job.
Prom was boring as fuck.
I hated prom.
It was.
I was wearing man clothes the entire time.
I didn't go just
I am
because
so sorry.
I was like,
And Summer laughed at me for how I dance.
The like
I'm a white person. Leave me alone.
doing the Johnny Bravo.
No.
Going nuts.
Yeah.
yeah.
Getting funky with me.
Do the monkey.
I do the monkey.
Yeah.
How would you ask someone to prom?
I never went to prom just because it was never a big thing for me. Like I was like, oh, dress up in suit and tie.
I went to prom solely because Summer wanted to go to prom, and I didn't. I was just like, whatever.
I didn't ask anyone, and no one asked me. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna bother.
Well, if they're already your friend, I don't think that they're gonna
Yeah,
do it too hard to you if they don't want to. Like, they're not gonna be
It's
like,
not like you have to
"Fuck
like.
you."
It's not like you're like taking them back like to like make out point after the prom either. You know,
Make out point.
I wanted to go old.
Every
school.
every city should have a makeup.
Every
point.
city should have a makeup.
A jagged cliff in which teenagers are murdered on.
Only when they're in their cars by a man with a hook.
Sometimes a machete.
Or by getting HIV.
Has this been a public service announcement?
Wear protection.
Don't be a fool. Wrap your tool.
Don't listen to FurCast.
Yeah, I don't know. I would just ask her. I mean, she's your friend.
It's not like you're asking a random girl that's in the high school or whatever that's like you've known and like have it admired for a long time.
Just do it.
The fact that she's your friend, just be like, do you have anyone to prom? No. Oh, do you want to be my date for prom? Yes. No. If it's no, oh well, then find someone else. Like, It's not gonna be the end of the world. It's
We should
prom.
psych him up.
Don't
I
make a
believe
big
in
deal
you.
of it.
Here's the thing. Yeah.
Don't like get in a suit and get on one knee with like a ring box and say, "Will you be my date to prom?"
Holy shit.
Don't
That's
do
all-
that.
here's the thing.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't
Don't
do
do
that.
that.
Of all the battles you're going to face in life, asking somebody out to prom, I'm going to tell you right now, is just like such a small one.
Unless you have an anxiety disorder.
Unless you have an anxiety disorder, in which case, holy shit, don't ask anybody for their prom. It's gonna be you're gonna mess it up.
Prom in general is going to suck. If
That
you have
is
an anxiety
really
disorder.
shitty of you.
I know. Hey, you
said
don't. You have 70 Facebook friend requests, you bastard.
You started reading them.
That's a little less mean than openly mocking someone for their mental disorders.
Okay. All right.
You call me
Shout
an
out to
asshole,
anyone with
you
mental
are
disorders.
Pure evil. Shout out
You
to
call me an asshole. Well, you're evil.
You're pure evil. Yeah. Anyways, I believe in you. You can do it.
You're right.
We all believe in you. You can do it.
Somebody in the chat room says that. No, I'm not even. No, I'm just gonna alt tab away from the chat room for a little while. Oh man, chat room. You guys are crazy.
Paul, will you be my date to prom?
No response.
Shit.
Even colder than no.
You fucked up, freeze frame.
Who's wearing the dress?
I don't know. Is it in LA or on the East Coast?
Anyway, do we have one more email
Good
before we-
question. It's like a Monty Python question. Is prom on the East or West Coast?
It actually matters, though. Is it Paul or Pauline that I'm going with?
Where is the sister leg? Is it just gone?
It's
still out there?
If it's a prosthetic leg, there might only be one.
It's some pawn shop by Myrtle Beach.
Some fucker has two prosthetic legs looking like
My-
that. You have to.
His nickname is
like,
Stumpy.
This was like 3 or 4 years ago, so my parents are still wondering if Pauline is at that pawn shop.
You
still.
got to go get it.
Wait, how long ago was this?
3-4 years ago.
You got to get it. It could be there.
It could be there. I mean, it's a pawn shop. with
The way I heard the story the first time, this is like like years and years ago. So your parents are still weird.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I'm proud of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Pharaoh's weird. I particularly like the one story that you were telling about that ghost that you saw when you were young. Like weird shit just happens to you, Pharaoh.
Everything happens to Pharaoh.
Everything does happen to Pharaoh.
You're like a conduit. You're like someone that would be on X-Files.
You're like a bad sitcom.
Why not a good sitcom?
No.
A bad sitcom. It's a pretty good sitcom.
It'd be an interesting sitcom.
All right, so I have one more email.
It's very diverse.
Okay, so this is email is titled Kane the Wolf. Okay, so my mom was searching through my emails and found a picture of a wolf furry I happen to think looks cool. She asked what it was, but didn't let me explain. She asked you what it was, but didn't let you explain.
What is that? Don't tell me!
What is that? You're wrong!
What a way to lead somebody on, man.
What is it? Tries to read it through your eyes.
Moving your eye, Morse code through your eyes, blinking.
I could probably do it.
Yeah. Anyway, so she asked what it was, but didn't let me explain. Then she called my brother, whom she thinks knows more on the subject. He comes to where the computer is and explains to my mom what a furry is. He said, and I quote, they are animals that have human-like bodies, end quote, somewhat correct, and I leave the room. While I'm gone, he searches furry on Google Images. I've searched it up as well before, so I know what will show up. She focuses on the furry porn and people yiffing in fursuits. People yiffing in fursuits shows up in Google and it really
Now I'm searching this.
I doubt that. She then comes into my room and starts to hit me with her shoe.
Wow.
Okay, so I went back to the room and I see a relatively bad side to furries. She then goes on to rant about how pissed off she is. My dad comes in after my mom calls and she shows him the furry porn. Then my dad tells me that I shouldn't be watching this because porn will mess up my mind. No, porn will not mess up your mind.
The fox is guarding that chicken.
The fox is going to convert. The fox is going to convert you to being a liberal. Anyway, I didn't even get to explain that yes, there is porn of it, but not all of it is porn, blah, 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 blah. I know they're just trying to protect me from something that they see as a threat.
Wow.
But I just...
Some detailed porn.
Wow.
That's the fursuit porn that pops up when you search furry on Google Images. It's
Anyway,
insane.
but I just don't like their closed-mindedness. How can I explain to them that I like the art and there is porn of it, but that's to be expected on the internet? Hope you reply, I love you guys, heart, happy kitty face.
Your parents really need to accept you for this.
It's another one of those things where it's like, if they're not limiting you, who
Is this
cares?
affecting your quality of life to that
Yeah, I mean, that's...
degree?
If it is, the only thing I would do is just try to, another time, show them some resources that are better off, like maybe the Anthrocon website or
Don't
some
let them watch
articles
FurCast.
from BBC.
Don't let them watch FurCast.
Yeah, I wouldn't let them watch our show because we're pretty ridiculous. But
Remember that time that kid is never allowed to be emailed by us ever again?
I remember that time.
I remember, yeah.
Specifically you.
All right,
I specifically
dear
remember.
FurCast fans, I am the person your parents warned you about on the internet.
You're gonna molest them?
No.
You're gonna have a free candy van
You're
driving
gonna try to
around?
steal their social security.
All right.
Where's your clown
Honestly-
costume?
Honestly,
Where's your clown costume in your white van?
I'm gonna be honest with you right now. If I ever drove around and this is one of those cases
So
where
it's
it's-
gonna sound really bad all of a sudden. This
if
went
I was
really
gonna drive
bad.
around in a van, I would not.
If I ever drive around in a van, I'm
in an
gonna
unmarked-
definitely kidnap
If I ever
children.
drive around in an unmarked white van, I would not offer kids free candy. I would offer kids free Wi-Fi. That's how I'd get them.
That's how I would.
No one warns against free Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
So
no one
let
gets
me
free
let me
Wi-Fi.
just kind of remove all the
Kids don't
the
care about
pretext and
fucking candy.
post-text.
Fuck candy. Kids
You
don't
are
want
trying
candy.
to get children.
No, I'm not. I'm saying if I was, I would offer kids. I would say, "Hey, kids, you want some free Wi-Fi?"
You've practiced that.
He's trying to get.
You've
kids.
practiced that.
No.
I don't
I'm
think
not.
it's. I'm done.
What?
I just can't answer anything anymore. I'm just.
Okay.
Has he ever been broken before? Have we
I'm
broken
quite
Pharaoh before?
broken.
Sometimes.
It's been a while since I've been broken, and tonight I'm just broken.
It happens.
If I ever get a van, I'm gonna offer kids
Free Wi-Fi.
That's what I'm gonna do.
That's how I'm gonna kill and murder them.
Hey, kid, you want some free Wi-Fi?
The Wi-Fi van, which would be probably pretty cool.
Actually, at the car show at Fur Fright every year, this person drives this like old like 1980s like fucking Dodge unmarked like white van with free candy spray painted on the side of it. It looks so fucking like legit.
I want to walk around in fursuit with a sign that says free candy.
oh, I think furries will love you for that.
Free candy question mark, as in you want the free candy?
Or it may be free under certain circumstances.
Yes.
See if you can find my SPH.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay, all I can think of is the old man from Family Guy right now.
Oh, God. Him in a fursuit.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Are we ready for shoutouts, guys?
Sure.
Can we do shoutouts?
I need
All
to
right.
get in the chat.
I need to
Cue up the shout-out music.
and queue up all
Finish
the-
your sentences.
All of the above?
Write a novel.
None of the above.
Cook soup.
It's always C.
All right, I just got to get ready for shoutouts, guys. I just got to get everything ready on the computer because it's a bitch to like just move everything around.
There are so many pretty windows.
I know. There are so many plugin windows. So many VST plugins. All right, here we go. And we're ready for shoutouts.
Nippler.
Please tell me you got some funny pictures out of that when I just danced to that freeze frame.
I hope so.
Everyone get into the chat room.
My life, your life, I life. God gave us words, wisdom, sound, power. Words, wisdom.
Pharaoh. Parker. Silos. Blair. Mishka. Time Suppression. Lumoro. Patty Face. Awali.
Amy today, Holo, Holdaka.
Mood. Tech Wolf. Hey, come here. DC or
AGC. Wolf. Alpha. Animus. Aquafox. Arium the Ardwold.
Arctic.
Avantol. Beggs. Benjamin Husky. Bob. Brychon. Charcoal. Cheddar. Chopped and Chew AF. Claus Fox. Cobalt's Wolf. Coyote Suko. Crescent. Kai Demi. D-Bandit. Daco. Dark Potatoes. Demix the Cax. Denton. Decimetry. Dirty Eyes. Districts. Dragon Bites. Drake. Drake. Hill Chill. Draco 19. Eden of Arcadia. Hugo Equus. Echo.
Eon the Wolf.
Equinox Yacht, Felix Fox, Figma, Fireworks, Fishmeister Cod, Flare the Dragon, Flippy, Florida Man, Fox,
Fox 65909.
Fox 89053.
Foxed.
Free Wi-Fi.
Freelancer RNC.
Frosty Fox.
FurCast Fox 113.
That's Fox 874.
FurCast Fox 404.
Generic Poets.
Goldtail.
Castrala Nostra.
Hark.
Otto the Puppy.
HD Fox.
Hex the Wolf.
Hex the Wolf.
Hijinks.
I'm a lesbian. Jack Sale.
Jerry Sniper.
Jonesy.
Jonesy iPhone.
JT Cynicade. Kazon.
A Kilo Cat.
Kissia.
Cowboy Cat, actually. Kilium.
Keaton.
Git Pop Hat.
Naughty Lucky.
Cool TNT.
29994.
Late Again Jasper.
Likey.
Eon Foxwork. Billy Fox.
Lore.
Lupus Vitae.
LWR. Lyle. Mako.
Maddox the Fox.
Marcus. Marinus Orsinus. Matt the Human.
E2.
Mental Jim.
Mezzanote.
Melfo.
Mordecai. Mordecai.
Nakuname.
Nanashi.
Nelazar.
Nightwolf.
Nipple Blindness.
Nurse Scornhoof.
Night Wolf Mike Pod. Night Wolf Milky Pods.
OG.
Overdosed, Ozone, 8-Ball Fox, Paradox is lesbian.
Paul Lakeman. He's a DJ.
Paul the Leg.
Psych Fennecat.
Pyrosis.
R34E6.
Razor the Archangel. It's Archangel, I guess.
Rating.
Raziel.
Razor C Blade.
Remus Lupin.
Rene Fox.
Riox.
Rilo Wolf.
Robofox.
Rope Snipe.
Sal Corazon.
Samos. The Husky.
Sarandros.
Savage Fox.
Scarlet Rain. I can't.
Winged Wolf.
Winged Wolf.
Sethra.
Sphinx.
Shade the Wolf.
Shin.
Yes.
Sikobe.
Silver Fufe.
Silvergado. Scarlet Rain.
Skyward Fox.
Splendiferous.
Dothrodale.
Spot.
Suka.
Summer Firewolf.
Safaro.
Takafarts.
Takari.
Talon.
Taran Fox.
Taran Fox iPad.
Tenacious Talon.
Taylor.
Peasants. The Grey Collie.
The Nippler. I love it. The Nippler. The Nippler. Suffer the wrath of the Nippler. Hello. Oh shit, I'm the literal tiger.
You read that one.
This is Zeki Sexy Beast.
Tiger Wolf Vic.
Treckle Fox.
Trigender Pyrofox.
Tube Gardener.
Twilight Fox.
Undead Queen Bee.
Thank you very much. Unnamed Griffin.
Piranhas.
Vizara the 13th.
Verokin.
Vincent.
Waya.
White Wolf.
Wicked Wolf. Wildtail 1000. Winter. Wrath 257. Venofox. Zorn. Zarmobo. Zarek. Hudnard.
Delta.
FurCast is lesbian.
Zion the Fox.
Zil Riley.
Exiled.
Yif Kif.
Yakara.
Jan.
Yuri the Snow Leopard.
Zolric. Zeke Frostpaw. Xylate the Supreme.
Zombie.
Free Everlasting Outcomes.
Phoenix Tor.
That's it. That's it.
Echo.
Around the inside of someone's mind.
Or stomach.
Vore.
Oh, I say we did a pretty good show.
I liked it.
I think we did good. It was good. It felt good. It was good. It was good. It almost sounded like a bad audio cable.
Yeah, I was like, what the
That was really weird.
What broke?
Is that your mouth?
Yes.
Are we all gonna do this now?
Does sound like a bad audio cable.
Are you inhaling or exhaling?
You'll never know.
Anyway, so that was weird, but anyway, yeah. So I hope you guys all enjoyed the show tonight. Just some final notes before we kind of end the podcast at least. Actually, there are no notes for the post show. Only things I want to mention is, first of all, shout out to all the people that we shouted out at the beginning of the show because they're fucking awesome. People who donate, people who contribute, people who help me, people who put up with all of my bullshit. Everyone,
You're welcome.
Thank you so much because it's without you guys we wouldn't pull it off.
I got 2 more friend requests on Facebook.
Prepare to be not accepted on Maddox's Facebook. But anyway, so only other thing is for those of you who for some reason don't know this, our chat room is actually an IRC chat room. Like, it's not just unique to our website. You can actually use your own client to connect to it. So if you don't like the way the chat is on the website, you can actually just download your own program and connect to it on your own. And on top of that, it is not only a FurCast chat room, there's actually tons of different chat rooms for other shows and other things, and it's available 24/7.
Well, all the cool people leave when the show's over.
Well, then
Yeah.
I would disagree. I think the cool people are the ones who stick around. Ooh.
One quick shout out to Hark, whose birthday is today. Go wish him happy birthday on Twitter. I just linked it.
Yep, Hark, he's a feline. You can go and love him for that.
Shout out to LWR, who we kind of hung out with a little bit at MCFC.
Yes, shout out to LWR and all the other people who we got to hang out with at MCFC, including Tribal Wolf as well as Munchies. And I think that's just about it in terms of the podcast. So without further ado, I have been your host this evening, Paradox the Wolf.
I have been your fabulous, scarred, terrified, slightly frightened, little astonished. Blue Fox host Pharaoh.
I have been your better Blue Fox host, Freeze Frame.
I hate you.
We'll discuss this later.
And I've been your something of a shapeshifter host, B.
And is there anything else to like end the night? Any last words?
Penis!
No, I would say Vore
Vore.
is just
Vore.
a fetish
Vore.
for
Vore,
moist,
definitely
tight
Vore.
spaces.
There's
Hot
one type of
pockets.
Vore that I like, and it is all over my 80.
Hot pocket. Hot pocket.
Hot Pocket Vore. Hot Pocket Vore.
Show title.
Show title.
Show title.
Hot Pocket Vore. All right, please write that down, Fair, so we don't forget. Hot Pocket Vore.
You'll never forget your first hot pocket.
Pocket. You never forget your first. I'll get it.
You'll never forget your first hot pocket here on FurCast.